What is up, people? I know this is the last minute. I was sitting here bored. I know, bored New Orleans, right? We're trying to get some folks in here to this hangout. The link is in the description of the YouTube if you hit refresh. It's in there, so if you guys want to join, feel more welcome. Talk about anything and everything. What's up, Rob, Kirsten, Jason? Let me turn this down before it starts. DJ. All you lovely motherfuckers. Click that link if you want to join. Dude, I've been relaxing all day, man. It was fucking rough. Filming, dude. They had me running around damn Bourbon Street in the French Quarter catching B-roll. So I had my tripod and my heavy-ass camera running up and down the streets. What's up, Chris? This is not actually my room, DJ. It's a friend's. That's a nice TV, though, ain't it? It's a fucking 4K TV. Look how clear that son of a bitch is. Feels nice. What's up, Kirsten? I got this turned on.
What's up?
Not much. You see it. I am officially, quote unquote, stuck in New Orleans right now. So
You're stuck?
yeah, my car broke down when I got down here.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
It's not a cheap fix.
Oh, did they say what's wrong with it?
I think it's transmission.
Oh, hell.
Yeah. I got all the way down here, drove 14 and a half hours south, pulled up my friend's house, Chris's house, and we went inside for a little bit, about an hour and a half. I come back out to come here, and every warning light was on my dashboard. The car turns over and starts, but every warning light is on. The speedometer's not even moving. When you put it like in the reverse or something, it's real bad work. So.
Crap. How old is your car?
It's only 2009.
It's as old as mine. I mean,
Yeah.
I've had issues with mine, but not like, major issues, except for one time. But you've been driving a long way, haven't you?
That car has taken me across country many times.
That's what I'm gonna say. It's probably about time it had like a issue like that. So, wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, it's got 130,000 miles on it already. So.
Ooh, wow, that's more than mine.
Well, I've driven to Ohio like 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
I've been down in Georgia in it. I've been in Kentucky, West Virginia, New Orleans. I've been all over. What's that? What's up, Rob?
What's up, man?
You and your fucking Ghostbusters logo.
Mike, you know what, Rick? You know what, Rick? How's that for a logo, bitch?
Oh, he's great. Mark, you want to say hi to my family? I'm on YouTube right now. Yeah. The guy that I'm at his place, he can come in. He's a cool motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell him what I was just saying, folks.
So I'm trying to get Nikki in here. I'm gonna see if I can.
Yeah, invite people. We can get up to 10 people on this song, bitch.
Yeah, let me see if I can get Nikki in here.
Oh my! What is that in the background, Rick? I saw Cheech and Chong on a nice big flat screen.
Yeah, Cheech and Chong up in smoke.
Nice. You're in a hotel right now, right?
Oh hell no! I'm at a friend's house.
Oh, I was gonna say that's a sweet ass TV for a hotel.
This is a sweet ass hotel room.
I know, right?
Treated me good since I've been here.
Mm-hmm. Well, since you broke down, maybe that's a sign you should stay a little while. Not like you have a choice.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I was talking about moving down here. I get down here and my car breaks down. So I'm like, is this a fucking sign?
It's a sign not to do it, dude. Don't freaking do it.
You kidding me?
I'm like,
I asked for a pepperoni pizza. They gave me cheese.
Eat it.
Hashtag first world problems.
Yeah. Go below that. Turn this if you want to, man. Hold on.
Dude, I'm eating macaroni and cheese with baked beans and hot dogs.
All my unprofessional friends. Especially this guy named Rob.
Just because, hey, yeah, dude, he needs to come meet me.
He's an investigator down here from New Orleans.
Oh, right on.
He's from Paranormal NOLA.
Okay. Does he have a YouTube channel or any information?
Yeah,
that
Paranormal NOLA, if you look it up.
Okay.
Actually got some good evidence. See?
Oh, I cringe every time I hear that word evidence.
It is evidence.
It's circumstantial. Circumstantial. I like findings or collected data, but that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you not call it evidence? It's evidence.
Because the evidence would suggest that it actually exists, but no one really knows if it does or not, in my opinion.
Hey, folks. This is Rob on my channel. What's up, Nikki?
Hello. What up?
You asked, Rick, so I answered.
What's up?
Hey, Nikki.
Hi. Dude, I'm having trouble with my Google Chrome tonight. Boo.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. It's been all day battle.
Being down here has opened up my eyes to the voodoo stuff. Pretty interesting.
The voodoo that you do?
Yeah, the voodoo that you do. That's funny because one of our interviewees, wasn't she saying that's what? Oh, you weren't there. She was saying, I think that's what she was saying. What voodoo meant was you do.
Dude, there is like some people down there that are legitimately terrified of that stuff, dude. Like, if you just mention it around them, they take off.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm having nothing to do with you. Don't use that word around me. Like, no, legit, dude. Like, I've seen it. Like,
yeah, I was in a couple of the temples, the voodoo temples, and that was just pretty neat to see.
Oh,
People
yeah.
over the years doing their little gifts and all that.
Dude, I've driven through New Orleans, man. You can still see some of the devastation from Katrina. You can still like see the mold marks on like dude, they got to be at least 2 or 3 stories high on these buildings, dude. And, you know, you can still see the water lines and stuff. It's crazy. And when you're coming into town, I don't know if you took like if you went south and then hit I-10 and then went over that like that waterway bridge and like where the Superdome is off to your left and east. You know, that little bridge where you're coming over, dude, that whole area was flooded, dude. It's just surreal to think about. It's a beautiful town, though. New Orleans really is gorgeous.
Dude, just walking down Bourbon Street and all that, it's pretty neat.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Like, you're down there like noon and people are already drunk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's just what they do there, man. And the accents, too. You go to, like, a gas station and you, like, try to order food or something, sometimes you can hardly understand what they're saying to you because of their accents. You know?
Cajuns.
It's really cool. Oh, yeah. It's so cool. It really is. Like, it's a beautiful town.
I've had a blast since I was down here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Looks like you were cheesing in that one picture. My goodness, you had the biggest smile on your face.
I seen him pull the phone up, and he was looking at it, and I was like, he's catching a selfie of us. So I was like, everybody else is looking down at their phones.
You got it. You were right on point.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, Brad's taking a selfie.
That's it.
Nice.
But Yeah, it's quite the experience being inside Bloody Mary's house and all that. She opened up them
I'm
gates.
jealous. I'm jealous. That had to be awesome.
How did you went up to Eastern State Fair? Didn't you go? Where'd you go?
Pinhurst, I think.
Penhurst. How'd that go?
Yeah, it was really fun. I investigated about 16 inches away from power outlets. It was a great time.
Jeez. Yeah, I clicked on the link to watch it live, and you guys were already gone.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's because I was literally dripping wet with sweat, and I was so irritated. I finally got an extension cord. Like one of the guys who from Penhurst Paranormal went out to his vehicle and brought me 100-foot of extension cord, and I was like, oh, thank you so much. Till I laid it down in a straight line flat, okay? I come back to move it, and literally, I pulled it back, and it is literally in knots, okay? It was the most ridiculous mess I think I've ever seen with cords, and I've seen some really bad Christmas cord debacles. It was horrible. And I couldn't get it to move. Like, I was trying to move it, I was dragging it, it wouldn't come. I gave up. I didn't even have it I couldn't see where it was pointed, and I'm like literally have it on my shoulder, and I have my shoulder talking. Yes, like that. And I said I can't continue. I have to stop.
Jason.
I was so hot and just done.
Jason.
Yeah, we got lucky. It was air conditioning. Mary's
Oh.
house.
Will you dance with me, Jason?
Huh?
Will you dance with me?
We have Kirsten, Nikki Paranormal, Jason, that's
Hi.
Paranormal. That's Rob, the skeptic asshole.
Wow, friendly.
This is Mark Diaz. He's from Paranormal NOLA.
How am I the asshole?
I don't
I'm
have
not the asshole.
the accent. Sorry.
Why am I an asshole, Rick?
Why are you the asshole? Is that what
Why
you
am I
said?
the asshole?
Because you're Rob.
I don't accept that as an answer.
You don't accept anything as an answer.
That's not true.
No,
not
he
true.
does it. He does on occasion. It
That's
does
not-
on occasion.
Yes, but it has to be like that lady who channels. What was it you were telling me about? The lady in South Africa who channels spirits through her bodies and then sleeps for 3 days.
Yes,
There's actually,
she's beat.
There's like a disorder called Sleeping Beauty syndrome, where people sleep 20 out of 24 hours of the day. Just saying.
Wow.
Wow, I'm having deja vu right now.
Deja vu's popular.
No, like I dreamt this. That I was talking about Sleeping Beauty in the Hangout. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I dismissed it when I woke up as poppycock. Because why the hell would I ever be talking about Sleeping Beauty?
Dun dun dun.
Well, here it is, folks.
Boom.
So, Jason, Starry, Sherry, how y'all doing?
Hello.
Jason,
Or
I
Tony.
need you to dance with me.
Not Jason, Joey, sorry. Jason's right there, eating his pizza.
Jason, I need you to dance with me.
You mean to dance?
I want you to dance with me.
I'm good.
I'll order you that pepperoni pizza you wanted.
No thanks. I'm good.
Did you all catch that sick-ass shot that I caught on film?
No, I missed it. I've been super conning. I'm sorry. Where do I see it?
I'll pull it up and show everybody. Dude, I was like, okay, here's I'll tell you the layout of it. Mary wanted to get B-roll footage of her walking in front of the cemetery and her offerings that she does, her little ritual. So I ran down to the house, grabbed my camera, and as I'm coming back, I noticed the skies are getting really black. I'm like, oh, this is going to be fun. So there's a storm coming in, and she starts to do her ritual. As she's doing her ritual, there are lightning bolts hitting everywhere. And so I positioned myself like to the left of her back a little bit to catch her pouring her offering, and in hopes that the background would catch the lightning. And I caught this shot right here. Let me share my screen. Caught that shot.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, that was on Facebook. Now I remember it.
Yeah. Now
It's
this
like
isn't in a
perfect
video. That's
That
just
was
the
sweet.
still. Yeah. There's video of the lightning bolt coming down and everything. And I think there's another one. We haven't went through the whole thing yet, but when she throws her hand up in the air, she does one of these where she's doing the offering. And I think when she throws her hand up, another lightning bolt comes down. So I'm hoping that it was caught on film.
Sweet.
Dang.
Actually, that's funny that you mentioned that. There's an old Bob Marley concert where he's performing, and he's talking about, unity and, needing, God's help and the Spirit of God, and everybody needs to come together, and something. I don't remember what it was. I can find it for you. But right at the end of him talking, and he throws his hands up, and he starts screaming, bang, there's a bolt of lightning that hits right behind center stage.
That'd be
Pretty
awesome.
crazy. Yeah. Let me see if I can find it.
I literally finished that shot and ran down the sidewalk because it started to rain. Like, I felt a couple of drips, and I had my camera on me. It's a $7,000 camera. So I was like, this motherfucker ain't getting wet, so I ran. When I hit the car, I jumped in, closed the door, and it just started downpouring. I was like, this is luck right here.
I wish it would downpour here.
There you go, Rick.
What's that?
That he's sitting there asking for answers, and let me see where it is. Let's see if I can find the. I think it's a 210. Yeah, started. He's talking about unity and everything. Start at like 205 and go to 210, and you'll see what I'm talking about. 20 feet.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, isn't it?
Shit's scary when it's close, man. I was like surrounded by trees and everything. Yeah, Kirsten, you were right. It is too telling off the smoke.
Yeah. Blind melon.
Rick is getting fluffy.
I was almost there, Rick, but my wife made me shave my beard off, like literally. I can't tell if she was like mad at me or she just really hated the beard, because I woke up to and I was like, really? Really, bitch? And so yeah.
That's cause for death for me. Don't
Well,
touch the beard.
Whatever. It's what it is, I suppose. What's Nikki Hogan?
It looked like Nikki coming back with a freaking TV for a
I
second.
know, right?
It's another laptop. I'm hoping that I can do my my postcards on this one, since the one I'm on right now is kind of being a butthead. So only
that's
been doing it all
probably the
day.
one. You have a Toshiba.
Well, that's just one of them. This one's an HP. I got a Mac in there. I've got a variety. Which one would you
You should be using
prefer?
that.
Name the brand. I have one in there somewhere. I got lots of electronics. Some work, some don't. I even have a pink phone. One of those ones you plug into your cell phone. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Not that I
Shameless
use
plug.
it. It was just, yeah, the
Everybody go
sponsor.
to my eBay
pink
store and
phone.
buy all my shit with that.
There you go. I should put my shit on eBay. I have a lot of shit.
Yeah. Buy all my shit on eBay.
Oh, you selling stuff now?
Yeah. I've been doing it. I just, like, whenever I find something that I don't need or want anymore, I just stick it up on eBay.
Puppy. My dog's in on the action. What? God. So, Rick, what's the temperature like down there? We hear the storms, okay? So is it hot as hell or what's
Yeah.
up?
It was. It felt like 105 degrees the other day when we were filming. It was terrible.
Yeah, I know Penhurst, I was really hot. Like I said, I was literally soaked. One of the guys from the team that I had invited me, he goes, and of course, you know, I'm like trying to be nice, and he goes, I didn't know there were showers that worked upstairs. I was like, okay. You know what? I'm a chick. I got long hair, or longer, not long, but longer than a dude, usually. And here, you know, this guy's got, like, no hair, got on a hat. Couldn't tell whether he was sweating or not. I didn't feel inside of his hat, but, you know, my hair was soaked. I was hotter than hell, and I was, you know, trying to sit next to the stupid outlet so I could stream. I could, and I didn't bring this thing with me. This little power outlet thingy-mabobber. If I would have brought this with me, I could have ventured beyond 16 inches of an outlet.
Yeah, they sent me on a wild goose hunt. They dropped me off in front of the St. Louis Cathedral, told me to take my camera and tripod and just get B-roll shots of the city. So here I am. I'm running through downtown New Orleans, Bourbon Street and French Square and all that, with this huge tripod, this camera attached to it, running the different spots, stopping like, ooh, that looks cool, set the camera up, getting a shot, packing it all back up, throwing it on my shoulder, and just kept running around. And I
That
found out
sounds like
couple
a
of things.
dream come true, dude. That sounds awesome. Maybe
Oh,
not with the temperature, but that sounds really like a lot of fun.
It's weird what people ask you when you have a camera in your hands. Like, you get two responses. Number one, don't put me on camera. Or number two, what are you filming? And it got to the point to where we were getting sick and tired of people asking us what we were filming, that we were going to start giving them these weird responses. So the first one that we were going to do it to, this little old lady comes like stumbling up to us. We got our camera on a tripod. We're catching like a slow piano city. She's like, martini in her hand. She's like, "What are you guys filming?" So the guy next to me, John, he's like, "Oh, we're filming an episode of Grandma's Gone Wild." And she's got a martini in her hand, and she just stops and she looks at us. And he's like, "You want to be on camera?" And she's like, "I've only had a couple martinis. Let me get one more, my sis." And we're like, "No, we're kidding. We're kidding." And this is like, it's on Bourbon Street, so it's all the partiers and everything.
Yeah, Bourbon Street has 0 F's to give. I don't know if I can use that word on your channel, but they have 0 cares.
I'm going to have to go through my footage because we had it rolling one time and a guy come up with the camera and he threw the peace sign. He's like, "What's up?" He's like, "What are you guys from?" And we're like, New Orleans STD rates. You want to be on it now? And he's like on film and he goes, oh. He moves. we were just catching them all off guard. So, what's up, Michelle? Dave's not here, man.
Jason,
Yeah,
buy that for your mom. She'll love you for it too.
Yeah, our next stop is Dallas, Texas.
Well, while you're down there, is that amusement park, that Six Flags, still there? And still, did they like not level it yet? Because I saw an urban exploration of that place, and it was awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Huh.
Yeah, the Six Flags. It's awesome looking.
I'm looking forward to it. I'll let's just wait to see here. There it is.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, I got something you're gonna love, Rick. This is just for you, buddy. I got something to send you. I need give me your email address. I want to send it to you.
Yeah, I know what it
An
is.
email address I can send it to.
You'll like it.
Send it to. I'll put it in here. It goes to my phone, so I know I get it.
All right. It's for your computer, though.
Well, I can check it on my computer too.
Yeah. Well, come on.
There's Mark's in chat right now. The guy that was just out here, Paranormal Nula. Or is that Chris? It might be Chris. I don't know which one it is. There's two of them.
I added them to G+, so
You gotta wait 30 seconds for him to answer. It's Chris.
okay.
I know it is because he just said, "Hey Rick, nice TV." I know. I don't have the really big guy laying on the couch back there. Chris is mad at me. I came in here and took his seat on the couch. So he makes a comment about it every time.
I have a question for you, Rick. Straight up. And it's a legitimate question. And it's gonna sound like it isn't, but I'm just gonna prepare you for it. Could a wet dream be a paranormal experience? Do you think that like a succubus or an incubus could be causing that dream, or is it like not a dream but really happening during sleep paralysis? Like, I mean, I mean, it sounds stupid, but like, I mean, I'm just trying to explore the possibilities of everything. You know what I mean? What do you think?
They do say succubus and incubus can drain you of your sexual energy. That could be one way they do it. 50-50 chance, yeah.
They're laughing at me in the chat, by the way. But.
No, I've never experienced it. What's up, Haley? So, I've heard of people that have experienced the whole wet dreams thing. I want to venture more to the overactive imagination.
Okay. But is it possible? Like, I mean, do you think that could be a caveat for an incubus or a succubus? I mean, like, if we're not aware of it, like that'd be like, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it could be possible. Only on Rick's channel.
No, like, I mean, you guys are laughing at me, but like, I feel like this is a legitimate question.
Well, no, I'm not. I'm laughing at the response that was down there.
I know, but I mean, I'm saying like if.
It's a legitimate question. It's a legitimate question. I mean, I ask questions all the time. I think any question that you don't ask is the stupid one. It's just a matter of, I don't know that any of us are going to be able to answer it with a matter of fact knowing.
Well, no, I just wanted someone's opinion on it. Like, I wanted to know what they thought of the assumption that a wet dream could be the way an incubus or a succubus actually works, and then that might be someone's way of justifying their paranormal interaction by saying, instead of just saying, I had a wet dream, just say, I had, a paranormal experience with, a succubus or incubus. Like,
Well, I don't think that you hear about it as often as you probably do on television. Of course, all the stories follow, and I think that they become popular that way. But I know personally in the field, it's not something that comes up every day, at least not for me. I mean, just speaking for myself, I don't know if you guys, does it come up often, or?
Jason, what do you think?
I have no idea. Doesn't really happen to me much.
He said much.
Much. Well, see, there was this one time.
Like calm about it doesn't happen to me much.
I don't know. I think of weird stuff, I guess.
Take it easy, Joey. Yeah. I mean, it could be, they could use that. I don't know, dude. That's a rough question.
Isn't it?
I want to believe that, like, a wet dream is just a wet dream. It's not a paranormal experience. Then again, you're going to have somebody out there that watched real sex before they went to bed, and all of a sudden they're probed by aliens.
Exactly. So I'm just curious. I don't know. I don't know.
But then again, you could be in a stage of possession. You never know.
Maybe. I mean, our brains are really weird, man.
You could just be like really horny, right?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Possibility. Who knows? I don't know. I know nothing. I will not sit and say I know everything. I know nothing.
That's one
I'm
of
proud
those.
of it. I am dumb.
Here's another great question for everybody out there. Instead of asking a skeptic like me, instead of asking what would it take for you to believe, why not ask why are you a skeptic?
What was that now?
Instead of like you've asked me before, what would it take for you to believe, Rob? You know, because like you want me to believe so bad, and I want to believe just as bad as you want me to believe, just so I'll stop annoying the fuck out of you with my questions. But what I'm saying is, it's like why not ask somebody, why are you a skeptic, instead of what would it take for you to believe? Because I feel like asking why someone is a skeptic doesn't really set the standard so high for the answers that they're looking for. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a higher standard in saying, what would it take for you to believe? You know, oh, make this thing fly off. You know, why are you a skeptic? Well, because,
Yeah.
you know.
I don't know. When you hear a skeptic, people want to know what's it going to take to make you believe.
Right.
So always the first question.
True. I would love to have an experience. I'm talking about like the extreme, but you guys already know that.
But see, honestly, dude, and I could probably say this for most of us that are sitting here. Oh my God. Hold that thought. Chris is in chat and he's calling me. Yes. $30 seconds. It's in the description, dude. Douche. Yeah, it says Google Hangouts link. Click that. God, you're gonna ruin my fucking viewers. Well, we got Chris coming.
Sweet.
He's like, how do I get my face on camera?
All right, so what were you saying now?
Oh, yeah. The whole fact is, like, for something extreme, for as long as I know I've been investigating, and I could probably ask everybody here, like a round table, I mean, how many times can you actually say you went to a place and experienced something extreme? It doesn't happen often. That's why it's paranormal.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, that's what I want. I don't think that that's what it would take.
I got spoiled. My first big investigation, which is the one that we went all out on, was inside Veliscax Murder House.
Right.
And we got fucked up that night. So anytime I go into a location and something happens, we leave it, we're like, it's nothing compared to that. Man.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. I'd like to see more consistency, I guess. That just kind of makes me wonder. That's what I want. I don't think that's the thing.
Hey, Chris, mute your YouTube.
I'm here.
Yeah, mute your YouTube.
What do we want all out on?
Say hi.
That's part of
All these people in here. And it's John.
So, mute your YouTube.
It's
We're like,
Hey, dumbass.
not your Google Plus, your YouTube. You're still watching the YouTube stream. Turn down the volume on the YouTube stream, not the Google Plus.
It's Chris. He's a douche. I don't even think. Can you hear me, Chris? Wave if you can hear me. No?
Put a shoe on your head.
Take those glasses off, douche.
Oh, I can pretty much say whatever I want to right now, and you can't hear me out. I don't even know the guy.
I don't think he can hear us. Here comes the other half, Paranormal Nola. Chris is on here now.
Okay, now what? Hold on, I had the other thing playing and it was 30 seconds delay. It was all weird and shit.
You can hear us here. You don't have to have that on.
Dude, figure that out. Hey, Rick, you're my fucking spot. Okay? We need you to go sit in the corner.
So, okay, Chris, let me ask you. Okay, you kind of new onto my page and everything on the streams. Rob is the paranormal skeptic. Okay, the guy
Wait,
in the
what? Say that again?
the guy in the shitty Steelers hat. He's a skeptic,
Okay, yeah.
and he wants to experience something extreme to make him believe it. We were just
No,
talking.
hold on. It won't take something extreme to make me believe, but I want to experience something extreme.
Well, you're going to have to go look for it.
But how many times have you been in a location and had something extreme happen?
Rare. Really
Yeah.
rare. It probably takes maybe 50 real investigations, and it's like fishing, dude. You just got to go out in the lake and see what you catch. Sometimes you ain't going to catch nothing. Sometimes you're going to experience. Sometimes you'll catch the biggest fish. Sometimes you'll just catch a little bit of EVPs,
I like
You
that.
gotta go out there and look for it. You're not going to find it in your house. You're going to find it where everybody says there's ghosts. So go to the most haunted place you could find and go sit up in that building and see what happens.
Yeah, it's true.
I
Hey,
haven't found it in my house today. When I
What's
was
that?
actually doing a show earlier,
But
I had
that's-
some weird shit happen during my
That's-
show. I still haven't looked. I'm going to go look.
See, that's the problem that I have, is that you can go fishing, but you might not catch anything. You can go fishing and you might catch something big. You can go fishing and you might catch something small. But we know fish exist. We can see them. They're right there. You have eaten a fish. You know what I mean? And to me, without the consistency and everything left to chance. I mean, if I make 40 grilled cheese sandwiches, I have 80 chances of capturing something on a piece of fucking bread. You know what I mean? It's not happening every single time.
But that you're thinking more of a kind of a black and white kind of thing. It's more of a gray area when it's so much inconsistency that happens, but it still happens. I mean, you're talking about supernatural occurrences.
Right, but watch this. Okay?
Supernatural
I'm gonna
occurrences. Because it doesn't ever happen. It's something you really have to go and look for.
Okay, well, check this out. I'm going to take this piece of paper right here,
I understand your point.
and I'm going to try to.
Scientific method. I understand your point.
I missed it that time. I'm going to try to hit that poster right there with this. You know what I mean? And I can keep throwing until I hit that poster, and I just nailed it. The second time. You see what I'm saying? I feel like it's just throwing darts at a dartboard. Until there's some serious consistency, then it becomes black and white. It does exist or it doesn't exist.
Well, that's all a matter of equipment or a piece of technology that can be able to conduct a scientific method to do that. But you're talking about you're talking about a big picture kind of thing to where you just want to turn on your TV or just maybe get a phone call or something, and then bam, this ghosts are proven. But if you're doing this for yourself right now and not 50 years down the road, waiting for that TV to come on to show you, hey, someone invented that piece of equipment to prove ghosts, you're looking for yourself, so you're going to have to go find it for yourself. I would suggest you write down 10 very haunted locations. And you go and visit those 10 locations, and at the end of those 10 locations, you ask yourself that same question.
Okay, now what should I take with me? Because I reject the idea that spirit boxes and
Well, I mean, you're
box
going to have
and
to educate
applications.
yourself
Like,
on what equipment's being used, what's the theory behind the equipment, what happens when the equipment activates. You know, you're going to have to educate yourself and feel like what type of equipment, you know, you want to bring in there. Most of the time when personal experiences happen, not only does the equipment go off, but you feel it and you see it yourself. Not only, you know, you're the best paranormal equipment you can bring on an investigation. You know, so that's
I mean, it makes it, when you say personal experience, it almost makes it sound like a religious experience. You know what I mean? Like, it just, it kind of, that's what kind of throws me off a little bit. Like, why, if it's paranormal equipment, does it not work every single time, all the time, for everybody? At the same haunted location. If I take something in there and it works for me, and you take the same equipment that I just did in the same exact spot, and you don't get the same exact, like, I don't, like, where is that?
Natural occurrences, they're rare. They rarely happen. They have been documented, you know. If you go in there and you catch stuff that you can't explain, that's paranormal, you know. So, I mean, if you catch a couple EVPs, whether it's actually a radio signal or something like that, you still don't know until you figure it out. It's paranormal.
But how do we know that it isn't what we think it is? Like, I mean,
there's a lot of stuff that's real in this world that science hasn't proven yet.
We got possible contamination in, you know, the radio frequencies or the apps and the spirit boxes. Like, there is a lot of room for misinterpretation in spirit boxes and mobile applications. Like that, I mean, there is I mean, that's like, you know, the difference between swimming in the Keys and, you know, the sewers in New York City. Like, it's so murky, you don't really know what it is. Like, I mean, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over, expecting different results. And it seems like that most investigators are doing just that, doing the same thing with the same equipment over and over in the same location.
That's all the capability that equipment has to obtain. A digital recorder can only record voice. A static detector can only detect static. You know what I'm saying? The equipment that we have, okay? And the thing is we're getting different results when we go into a haunted place.
Right.
When I go into West Virginia State Penitentiary and I get, you know, EVPs of the person who was killed in that cell. You know, to me, that's proof. You know, to you, it's not. To me, it's proof. To me, to a lot of people, ghosts have already been proven. There's just more closed-minded people out there that need more proof. So,
well, it's not about having more proof. It's about the fact that no one actually has proof. You believe it's proof. We don't know what we're talking about.
That's different interpretations. I mean, I say it's enough proof for me. You say it's not enough proof for you. It's all subjective, you know. I mean,
that's the problem with the consistency factor of it. Why is it so subjective? Why has nobody walked into a place and done? Why are you always getting different responses instead of walking into the Sally house again and having the same spirit or ghost go, "You're back"? Like Rick said, if you meet somebody walking down the road and you have an interaction with them and they see you again, they're going to recognize you.
Like I said, it all falls under technology. One day there'll be technology.
I mean, that's
like I said, there's a lot of stuff that science hasn't proven yet that's real. I mean,
but science has proven technology.
Can you agree with that?
I agree that science has proven technology.
Yeah.
But technology can't prove the existence of something that is subjective. Period.
It's not. It's just kind of like, it's kind of rhetorical, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's stuff out there. The fact is that people are walking into these haunted places and they are getting signs of evidence of supernatural activity. I think that's true. I mean, when Nikki or Rick goes into the Sally house and they come out with EVPs and stuff, I think they're gathering evidence. I don't think it's fake. I think they're getting something.
No. I was never. No, hold on. I don't use that word. I do not use that word because I for one, fake. I don't say fake. I don't say fraud. Here's where I'm coming from. I am a believer in an absolute balance. You know what I mean? We can't have up without having down. We can't have left without right. We can't have right without dark. You know what I mean? And the way that I see it is, is that if the paranormal exists, there needs to be an opposite and equal balance for that.
How many investigations have you done?
None. That's why I'm trying to learn about it.
Oh, see, I mean, it's kind of you kind of haven't you kind of.
I'm a skeptic. Why would I do an investigation?
Probably several investigations. You know, I understand your point. I understand what you're getting at, but it's kind of like you haven't really put in the footwork to really give a really honest opinion on the matter. You know,
if I don't like baseball, if I don't know how to play baseball, why would I go and try to play baseball?
Well, nobody says you don't know how to be an investigator. You can learn. You're the one that's curious about this stuff.
Right.
You're the one asking the questions.
Exactly.
I mean,
So
I had questions, bro. Hey, I had questions. I went out there and found them. I've been on over 300 investigations. You know why? Because I was interested in the paranormal and I had questions. So I went out and found out for myself. You know, and like I said, you're not going to get any answers sitting there in your house. You got to go out there and look for them. You know,
everyone's answer is going to be different, though, and that's I think the biggest thing.
Yeah.
But
that's the reality.
I guarantee you it'll change.
But with everybody's answers being different and nobody having a consistent answer, why?
But what it takes to prove to you, Rob, that something exists or something occurred may be different from someone else. And I think until you have that experience yourself where you really rule out absolutely everything that you possibly could think is an outside influence, and then have somebody else also review and say if there's anything that an outside influence that they may be aware of to, question. Even then, you may still have that same, same doubt. It's really a matter of accepting and having an open mind and being accepting of what you may be receiving. Now, I don't believe everything I see. I sure as shit don't believe everything I see, because there's a lot of crap out there, okay? Now, if I see with my own eyes and I'm doing it myself, I am more likely to believe what I am obtaining versus what I'm seeing somebody else obtain. And that's just, it's basically an answer within yourself as to what side of the is it possible, does it exist kind of, is this bullshit or possible? And that's a question I think everybody asks themselves at some point or another about every part of this multifaceted spectrum that is paranormal.
Yeah, it's good to have the skeptic side too on an investigation.
I agree. I'm very skeptical.
Yeah. Everything that happens is not going to be paranormal.
Right.
I mean,
and I agree with that. But I'm not saying that. Hey, here's what I'm saying, and let me backtrack all of this real quick, just so Chris, is that your name?
Yeah.
Chris. Okay. Just so you understand, I believe that there is something out there. I believe that there is something trying to communicate. But I don't know what it is, and I'm not convinced that it's spirits or ghosts. Does that make sense?
Hey, bro.
Does that make, you know what I mean? So that's why I'm kind of going.
But it's something there.
What is it though? Like
there's something there, right?
But maybe. Not 100% of the time. Maybe not. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like we don't know. I don't know. I have no.
Whether it's aliens, whether it's us making the equipment go off, it's still something paranormal that science can't explain, which is why I pursue it.
Well, there's something.
You don't have the answer. I don't have the answer. Ain't nobody got the answer.
There's something. There's something, but I don't know what it is, and I'm gonna find out one day.
I could tell you one thing, bro. There's been situations that I've been in that I guarantee you, if you were next to me, you would not be a skeptic anymore. And I believe that with my 100% heart and soul, because I've had groups of people come with me and see things that nobody, a whole group of skeptics change overnight. So, like I said, it all boils down to you going out there and going on your own journey and figuring this stuff out for yourself, just like I did, just like Rick did,
Well, I don't want Starry in the chat. I don't want anybody to think that I'm asking anybody to prove anything to you. I'm asking questions to different investigators to understand where they come from. You know what I mean? Like, I understand I have to do this for myself, but I am the type of guy, and Rick knows this, coming from a military background, that we know everything there is to know about our equipment and our mission, down to how much our weapon weighs. So if I go in there ill-prepared, I'm still going to feel like that I didn't get the best experience that I could possibly get, unless I'm 110% prepared. So until I feel like I am mentally ready to go in there and I'm going to have the best experience with the best equipment, with the best knowledge that I can, so that I can come in and say, okay, well, I can't explain this, I can't explain, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be fully ready to do this. And I'm saying that I'm not right now because I don't know enough. That's why I talk to people like you, Rick, Nikki, Jason, and everybody else in the chat. You know what I mean? Do I believe that the paranormal exists? I don't believe it's ghosts and spirits. I don't know what it is. I'm not saying it's not, but I'm saying maybe it isn't. You know, I guess you could call me like an open-minded skeptic. I'm not really like that dickhead skeptic. It's like, you know, you got to prove it to me. Oh, this is all fantasy factory. Like, it's not really the case. You know, I'm kind of preparing myself for that moment, but I'm not expecting it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but here's the thing. The reason that I got involved in the paranormal is because people like Rick, Nikki, and all, you know, real paranormal investigators out there, they were coming back with evidence, and they were coming back sharing stories saying, I saw this, or I went through this, or I felt this, which intrigued me, which says, okay, if they're going in there and they're doing this, that makes me curious that maybe there is something out there. So it possessed me to go and do it myself. And now, you know, then I started from feeling it and seeing it to trying to document it, you know. And
I like the word documentation more than evidence, but that's just me.
And
now
now
what I mean.
Hey, I feel.
Me and Chris are now working with Brad Kling, so
Yeah.
he's the other guy on our production team. So I think he just totally froze.
So I just wanted to pick your brain a little bit and know what you thought it was, or what you think it is, or what equipment you're using. You know.
He's actually a good guy. He's really good to pick his brain. He's been at some locations, and he's got some evidence on his channel that'll make you scratch your head.
So let me ask you this one too. What if, let's say we all go. I got Rick, I got Chris, I got Jason, I got, you know, Nikki, I got Brad, I got the best of the best. You know what I mean? I got the paranormal investigation dream team. And we all go in there, and you're ready to pop Rob's cherry to get him an experience. You know what I mean? And everybody else hears something, sees something, feels something, and I'm still standing there like...
Well, Rob, that actually does happen, because we were in Waverly, and I was pissed off. It come about 2:30 in the morning, and I hadn't experienced one thing except big spiders and bats, and I was pissed. I'm like, I'm all the way down here in Louisville, Kentucky, in the top 10 haunted place in the world, and you can't even give me a fucking EVP? I wasn't happy. So, but little did I know, as I was screaming and yelling at the spirits on the 3rd floor, up on the 4th floor, they were seeing apparitions and everything right in front of their eyes. As I was down there screaming, I'm telling them they were pieces of shit and all this, I was pissed. Little did I know the 16-year-old girl upstairs was screaming and running because she seen the nurse right behind her, like a full apparition.
Well, somebody asked me on an interview a couple of weeks back, they said, what would you do if a ghost appeared in front of you right now? And I said, how would I know it's a ghost? I mean, I would do what anybody would do. I would try to have a conversation with it, touch it. You know? Like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being stubborn.
Well, I mean, nobody knows how they're going to actually react. You could say you're going to, I'd stand face-to-face with it. I do this and that. You really don't know how you would react until you're in that situation. Yeah. Everybody knows about fight or flight. I'm going to tell you the big ass. There was a big old set right behind my shoulder.
There's a big old set of nuts back there.
It's bad grandpa.
This one's coming down.
Only on my fucking channel.
Oh, wow.
But I forgot where I was totally.
Sorry, I forgot to plug my laptop in.
Oh, good, man. But we were talking about what if, like, I had the paranormal dream team together.
Oh yeah.
You know.
And everybody, I mean, with that fight or flight, and I'll be honest with you, Callisto, when my phone went flying towards me, the only thing that kept me from not screaming and running was I froze. I didn't know what the hell was going on in that moment, and it just took me a second to process it.
Well, I feel like I would run towards it. You know what I mean? If I hear a knocking in a room somewhere, like, I'm going to run at it. I'm going to go find out what it is. And Nikki said that's kind of the catch-22. Like, if you hear footsteps and you run towards it, now you're contaminating your audio evidence.
But I'm totally the one that does the same damn thing. I saw Shadow.
Like,
I saw a
would be like,
shadow thing.
you know,
Run toward it, man. What? I want to know what the hell it is. I didn't have my camera. I didn't have my recorder, and I
Yeah.
ran toward that bitch while I'm on the phone with somebody, and they're going, "Get out of your house, man!" And I'm like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" No, I'm going to. I want to know what it is. I want to. If I can, figure it. I could touch it. I could feel it. I could whatever. I want to do that. I'm not running from it. Now.
Mhm.
Now, granted, if I've got all this set up, I'd probably still want to touch it, see if I felt different, whatever, and that's just me, but,
Yeah, I want to know what it is. That's
I
probably
can't
the part
just
of me
watch.
that
I would honestly like to break Rob's chair. And we'd all have to get together and do that.
I don't know, man. It'd be, Dom sent me an EVP recorder, so I have one. Actually, it was a really nice one that he bought cheap and fixed and sent to me. So I've got that, So I don't know. I mean,
Continue to record and see what you catch. I caught my very first EVP ever when I was messing with my EVP recorder in my house. I was the only one there, just sitting there.
yeah.
And, a TV commercial came on. Can't remember what it was, but there was a song, and I started singing along to it, just being stupid.
Mhm.
And I was just checking to see if it was working. So I popped it, played it back, and when I started singing, you heard behind me something go, "Get it, boy!" And it froze me for a second. I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck was that?"
You saw that video, right, of the lights flickering at my mom's house?
Yeah.
I want to know what Chris thinks of that.
Yeah, did you guys ever evaluate that anymore? Or?
No, I mean, I told you I had tried to debunk it, but I couldn't figure out what the hell it was.
Yeah, because I thought you guys said you caught something in there that was...
Dom says he heard something, but, dude, I don't hear anything, dude. I'm not that guy. I'm deaf in one ear, and I've got 60% hearing loss in the other, so if you're trying to make me or get me to hear something, I'm not that man. I'm not him.
So a note to self, do not let Rob have the EVP stuff.
Right. Well, I mean, that's why I have programs that, will... I'm using Audacity and WavePad Sound Editor so I can see if there's any anomalies within the whatcha-jig. So, but I haven't found anything. Here, I'm going to show this to Chris if he wants to look at it.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to go back before I got cut off. I wanted to say, I'm sorry, what was your name, Pittsburgh?
Rob.
I want to say something. And you talk about proving and unproving and stuff like that. Yeah, I haven't scientifically proven that ghosts exist, but on my YouTube channel and on my website, I feel that I've collected enough evidence to be as close as just anybody that ghosts do exist. Like if somebody was to sit down with me and go, "Okay, Chris, show me your evidence of what you collected in all these different haunted locations over the years," and I would sit down, I would show you disembodied voices, EVPs, I would show you Neil effects on EVP recordings and disembodied voices with REM pods going off simultaneously. Mm-hmm. I mean, I have all this evidence. So to me, I feel like I've proven ghosts exist with my evidence. And
well, that's the thing is I
feel like, hey, I got one of the best arguments out there.
Right. Well, I don't think it's about proof. I would never ask anybody to prove themselves to me because, I mean, let's be real. Who the hell am I? You know what I mean? Like that ain't the way it is. So, but I do want you to see this, just to see what you think. And I'll even send you this file. So if you want to review it for audio anomalies, I'd be happy to do that. I'm not moving at all. I'm standing in one place, and I'll give you a little more background on this. I checked those light bulbs. Those light bulbs were screwed in tight. These fixtures here were brand new. I had my brother run across the hallway, which is directly above this bathroom. I tried stomping through the threshold to see if I could recreate what was going on here. I even thumped and tapped here. You can clearly see the light switch in the mirror, correct?
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, he's gonna play it. There's.
He's camera shy. Stop being camera shy. Look at the camera.
See, I don't see the lights flickering.
But you wait for it. Did you see that?
See, I didn't see it the first time either.
Here you go.
Yeah, a
See
little bit there, but
if you see like a raw video of it, dude, it's very prominent. I'll send you that video. I'll send it to you if you want me to email it to you or whatever. I'll send it to you. But those lights, I mean, they're going off. And you can see I'm not messing with the light switch. Nothing. I'm not messing with nothing.
Well, I mean, if it's coming from you, you're the one you always ask the questions first. So for you to be showing that video shows that you do want to believe and that something was going on.
Well, here's the problem, though. Was there any audio in it? Like, I want somebody else to look at it and listen to it and see if they caught an EVP or... And there was even... Somebody said that there was a shadow that they saw in the mirror. Like, when I told them to make the lights flicker again, there was a shadow that crossed through the mirror.
Yeah, send it to me, and I'll throw it in and see what I mean, maybe it's better watching it.
Okay.
Real time.
So is that... I don't like to call it evidence. I like to call it documentation.
A doppelganger brings up a good point. Could it be a power bump?
No, because it happens every time I go in that bathroom. And I'm the only one that it happens to. That's just the only time that I document it. Like, I've taken my wife in there before and was like, okay, watch this. And nothing. But every time I went in, because I was at my parents' house for 10 days. They live on a farm, and I was out there helping them on the farm. But every time I went in there and I pulled my dangling out to use the bathroom, the lights started flickering. And then I would ask them to make them flicker again, and they would flicker again every time. I take my wife in there, nothing. She gets nothing. But I'm the only one who can make it. You like, I walk in there, and that's what happened. So
all these people are in love with Sharknado. It's like ridiculous. It's like trending right now. Sharknado 1, 2, and 3. They're releasing 3 tonight on Sci-Fi, and everybody's going nuts over it.
Yeah, just see Ghost Stop was doing that promotion. They had their little ghost guy with a fin on it. They were doing like some kind of giveaway.
Sharknado proves you can make a shitty movie and become famous.
right.
The whole term Sharknado just like irritates the shit out of me. It's like Bradgelina or whatever, you know, like the mixing of words like that, those types of words. It drives me crazy. Well, I'm an oxymoron. I'm Nikki Para Unnormal. I mean, can you be Para Unnormal? I sure as shit can be.
I was laughing about that, Nikki. The promotions for Paranormal King. Is Nikki Paranormal.
What was that? It cut out. My internet's shit.
His promotion poster says Nikki Paranormal. It doesn't say.
Oh
Nikki
yeah.
Paranormal.
Well, that's because so does my postcards. I'm trying to fix up right now, and I'm having a lot of issues because people can't say Para Unnormal. I don't know why it's so friggin' complicated. I mean, it's easy.
Para Unnormal.
Right, Para Unnormal. And people can't say it, and they're like, Nikki, And then they're just like, Nikki Paranormal.
I'm gonna change my group to Chris Paranormal, and when people ask me why, I say it works for Nikki.
There you go. There you go.
Well, that's like mine on YouTube.
And me is me, myself, and I.
That's it.
That's me.
I was trying to set my YouTube up to say Paranormal Warnings, but it said, I need your first name. So I was like, okay. And all of a sudden it says Rick Paranormal Warnings. I'm like, fuck.
You're like, it better stick now because that, can't change it now.
Are you watching the video?
I'm sending the video to you. And then, Rick, you can share that with Chris if you want to.
Oh, yeah.
Just because I'd like to get another set of eyes on the raw video and audio to see if there's something there that I'm missing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I think that's good.
Like,
That's great because that's what more teams should do. And people should be willing to ask questions of other teams to review their stuff. I think people shouldn't be, worried, I guess, about what somebody else might have to say. Or when, I love how the whole claim it as your own shit. Anything of mine, you want to claim it as your own, go for it. I don't care. Because if it gets out there and it helps, answer something or matches somebody else's experience, so be it.
Whatever. I had an old friend take my evidence and put his logo on it, put it on his YouTube channel. I was pissed.
I actually,
I don't give a shit what you guys do with it. That's my mom's bathroom, and I can prove it.
we've all worked with somebody who probably has done that, or they've, taken and completely used the living crap out of you, whether it be for evidence or whether it be for any financial gain.
Now,
what I mean.
Now, here's a weird coincidence. Nikki, do you remember that night that my power just went out?
Yeah.
I got super pissed. And at something, I don't even remember what it was, but I slammed my hands down on my table and screamed, "Fuck!" And right as I did, pew! Like that was probably the most weird coincidence ever.
No shit.
Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I caused it. I'm just saying it happened.
That'd be pretty badass if you could.
That's not.
But I'm just saying, people, because people, there is, if you read the article I sent you, we've talked about it before. I know Rick has seen it, where the street lights, where they can make light bulbs burst. Is that a matter of coincidence? That many people have an occurrence where they pissed off and they're able to, something happens. Perhaps it is coincidence. I don't know. But I can tell you when I get pissed, things happen out here in my garage. I don't know why, only in my garage. And I wasn't even pissed earlier, though, and I had some really interesting
just because my
happen.
wife yelled at me from the other room, and she said, "The dog's in the litter box again." And that's why I was like, "Fuck!" Bang! Slammed my hands down, and then shoot, like the whole grid went down. Like not just power to the house, like there was 1,000 homes. And
If I did that,
were even out.
everybody would be fucked. Because I get pissed a lot every day. Could you imagine?
Yeah. I just
I'd live by myself in a far, far away land.
Yeah, I mean that'd be cool if I had like a superpower, but I don't.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah.
Got a question for you.
Okay.
Hey, Mark.
What's up?
I see how you got out of bed after I left, huh? I see how it is.
Right.
I'm his best friend.
Yeah. I got a new best friend now.
That's fucked up, man. Fucking come down here and take over my life. This is my life, Rick.
Next, you're gonna find your evidence on his channel.
On the couch, drinking my share of the drink.
Yeah. We already transferred all your YouTube videos, so. Yeah, it's all on Paranormal Warnings website now.
Yeah, you should.
Look, and this is who I got. Okay, this is who I'm stuck with. All right, look, I'm stuck with his fucking ass. All right.
Hey, Chris, you should see the sick drone shot we got tonight.
Y'all went flying with the drone without me? I'm gonna blow up. That's it. I'm done.
At night.
I gotta go. Come here, doggy.
Well, Rob, he had watermarks. Rob, Mark had a question for you.
Okay, go ahead.
You're having all this experience in your home, right?
Well, it was my mom's house.
Your mom's house?
Yeah, I don't know.
But I call them experiences. I don't really call them, what you're talking about. So, I mean, it sounds like you're very interested in this. Like, what makes you think that something's going on at your mom's?
I don't. That's why I'm showing the video.
Oh, I mean,
You know what I mean? Like, I went and through and I checked the light switch. I checked to see if the bulbs were in. I walked through the truck. Like, I thought of everything that I could possibly think of to try to think.
How many times has it happened?
Every time I walk into that bathroom.
Oh, wow.
But when somebody else walks in there with me, it never happens. But see, here's the thing. Like, I walked into the bathroom and I went to use the bathroom. As soon as I pulled it out and I started doing my deal, the light started flickering. I'm like, whoa, that's cool. So, like, I jumped up and down on my heels to try to shake the room and the floor a little bit, knocked on it, checked the light bulbs and everything. And that's when I started recording, and I'm like, who's in here with me? Make those lights flicker again. And when I said make those lights flicker again, the lights flickered. I'm like, oh, shit. So I was actually on Skype with Nikki and Dom at the time, and I told them what happened. And then I was like, hold on, I'll be right back. So I went and got my wife. And I was like, babe, come in here with me. You got to see this. And I go in there with her, and nothing happens. She's like, you're wasting my fucking time, Rob. And she runs out. And as soon as she walks out, and I'm standing there, like, flabbergasted, like, what if, you know, they start flickering again. And I'm like, what the fuck? Are you serious? So, I mean, and there's a hallway directly above that bathroom. I had my brother, who's like 375 pounds, he's like 7 feet tall, walk as hard as he could across the hallway just to see if it might have been something like that, you know?
Yeah, like a power surge.
I don't mean, but is it a power surge every time I walk in there?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why I wanted Rick to check it out. Maybe he caught an EVP or something.
I will definitely go out there and do it.
Hey, Mark caught his first disembodied voice the other night, documented it and everything.
First time.
Clear screen, show everybody.
Is it, it's on your,
Yeah. It's,
yeah.
Yeah.
My boy's growing up, I'm so proud.
Shit, I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, though.
You'll be able to hear it. You'll hear it.
Well, I don't
I
have,
sent it
I
to
mean,
you, by the way.
it won't be as clear as if they were watching that, right? But you don't need headphones for this shit.
well, because I don't have my external microphone. So I don't know if it'll play through.
Yeah,
Don't
it'll
screw it
automatically
up,
play
Rick.
through.
What's that?
When you present yourself and share your screen, it automatically plays through.
There we go. Now make sure you close your porn window, Rick. All right.
Here we go.
That's his editing. Oh, he's getting so good.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Can you make this light go off for us? This light I'm holding in my hand, can you make it move for me? Just go touch it, and it'll light up. I heard something. What was that? I heard something. What was that?
Play one more
This light
time.
I'm holding in my hand, can you make it move for me? Just go touch it, and it'll light up. I heard something. What was that? I heard something. What was that?
So there it is. I love it. I do.
Did y'all hear it?
Did you guys hear it?
Hell yeah, I heard it.
I heard the knocks, and then I heard what seemed to be. I didn't hear the word.
Go on his
Yeah.
Facebook page, Rob. You'll be able to hear it really clearly. I promise.
Yeah, you
Alright.
can hear it. It's. I have my headphones on though, but you can hear it. It just sounds, often like a disembodied voice does. I mean, typically, sometimes can get one that's like right here, where it's like, what the hell? But
Yeah,
it sounds like it's distant. It sounds like it is like from, not on top of the microphone, but you could definitely clearly hear it. It says here.
Sound like it came from
You hear a. Yeah, that was cool.
Thank
Yep. Actually, I have a disembodied voice of a spirit telling me, reminded me not to forget my REM pod in a basement. We went back down there to grab the digital recorder because we thought we got all the equipment. I didn't know that I forgot my REM pod. In the video, you see the REM pod. It's on night vision. It's completely dark. You hear a male voice whisper in my ear, "REM pod." It's one of the coolest things I've caught.
What's the most recent like experience? Like, why is there nobody from like? Why is it always a World War II guy or Native American or like what? Like, where's the guy that died yesterday?
You mean,
You know
like,
what I
why
mean?
is there no recent deaths that we're capturing or like spirits? I don't know. Maybe it's a time thing. Maybe there's no concept of time. Maybe, I mean, who knows, dude? I don't know. That's
Like,
all I
those
can
are the
say.
questions that I have that I would love to have the answer
I can
You.
assume a whole bunch,
Yes.
but I don't know.
I want that. I want the Phantom 3, dude.
Yeah, Mark just got it.
Oh,
We were shots with it the other day.
dude.
Also,
I'm jealous as shit.
Pull the drone out and show 'em.
But dude, I saw the ad. I actually posted it because I saw Bob Christopher put it up, and I was like, dude, do I need this? Hell no. Do I want this? Hell yes.
Yeah.
Video
Dude.
thing catches.
We're going to be at Sloss August 7th. We're gonna be at Sloss August 7th.
You know, I was told by a psychic, love to get your guys' thoughts on that.
Don't get me
But
started on that.
by a psychic that I should not go to that particular location. They warned me. They said, do not go there.
That means
Now, of course, what does that mean? I'm ready.
there you go.
'Cause I don't care who it is, and I want to go. I don't care where it is. I'll go by myself. I want to go.
Yeah, we're going to be there on the 7th, man.
Jealous. I'll be at Mansfield on the 9th, and on the 1st I'll be in somewhere, New York, Pennsylvania line. Then
November.
this weekend I'll be all over the place.
You watch it, Rick?
Yes.
Boom.
Oh.
There she is.
Thanks.
It's so sexy.
Fucking awesome.
4K camera. And this thing, I'm telling you, the videos that it takes, I couldn't believe it.
I
So
want a
steady.
toy.
That's awesome. I haven't watched it yet, Rob.
Ricky has
I'll
her,
do it.
I want that face on.
I do. I want a new toy.
I want that.
I want that.
I'm jealous. That's Mark.
Dude, that thing is badass. My drone flies for like all of maybe 8-10 minutes, and then it's like a plummeting crash to earth, and you hope that your shit will still work afterwards. Are you painting your nails, Rick?
Yeah.
This one has an automatic setting. If it starts to die, it automatically returns back to home base. You can hit the home button no matter where it is, and it'll return back to where you launched it from automatically, no matter what. If you lose distance, lose signal, lose battery, you go straight back to
Damn.
home base.
I need to put one of
Yeah.
those in my life.
Good luck. Good luck, dude. She kick your ass.
Yeah, this thing's pretty neat. If it's running low on battery, it'll automatically return back and land itself.
Smarter than most people. That's awesome. I wish
Especially
my cell
officers.
phone would do that. My cell phone would be like float across and go back to the base and charge when it's dying.
Lieutenants need that piece of equipment.
You know Bloody Mary's house from Ghost Adventures?
Mhm.
We were just there 2 nights ago.
I know.
We got cool drone shots of it, too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm jelly. I want to go there.
Why?
I feel like that just sets an unrealistic standard for investigators, man. It's a document.
What? To get to go to all these really awesome places?
No, just
What?
the documentation, the findings that they have. It's like everywhere they go, there's something. Like, oh my
No,
God, that
that's
demon
not
just tried to steal
true.
my hair gel.
I was in
No.
West Virginia State Prison, and I didn't get anything.
I know, but send ghost adventures out there and
Okay, but here's the deal. They
expect
say
ratings, and there'll be something. I
no, but they
guarantee you.
say that they're there. Okay, even when they did a 24-hour, quote unquote, 24-hour lockdown, Okay? A 24-hour lockdown ends up being approximately 4 days. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, typically when you get access to a location, especially one that is worthy of possibly being on that show, okay, you're going to be in there max probably maybe 5 hours if you're friggin' lucky. Maybe you could get it all night if you got a bankroll or funding, okay? Most places, you're not going to have that opportunity to go for 4 days without interruption, without the public, without anybody screwing with your shit. I mean, that's just, yeah, that'd be great. I bet you I'd have fucking awesome stuff to be able to put out if I got a location where I just, stayed and didn't leave, and I had people to review my footage while it was happening. I had my Billy Tully and my, to review everything while it's happening, and yeah, sure, why not? But, reality is you got Nikki and a power outlet and 16 inches of cord, and you got accidental mutage. I mean, it happened, Not all that fabulous. I got a lot of bugs, which is pretty neat in that respect. I said they're orbs if you want them to be. If that's what you believe, go for it. If they're what you want them to be.
Oh my.
Because I can't convince somebody that otherwise. If they think it's a bug, it's a bug. If they think it's dust, it's dust. If it's an orb to them, then go ahead, baby. It can be an orb to you all day long. That doesn't make it the case for me, but...
There are 151 episodes of Ghost Adventures currently.
And they just got another season, sweetie.
And they just got another season, and you're telling me that they have caught something 150 times? Like, I don't know.
I can't vouch for them.
I don't know.
Nor will I vouch for them. I'm
not going to use the F word, but...
I have.
I'm just going to say that it sets an unrealistic expectation for what I would call a real investigation.
Well, I think that as long as people understand that, though, and that's where there's this misconception for the armchair investigator who does not understand that there is a real life, investigators, and then there's, make-believe. And in my eyes, that's like make-believe. Am I saying that everyone who does TV or video or anything is make-believe? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying for this particular in-question group, yeah, I think that there's plenty that is embellished upon. I can tell you with me, there sure as hell won't be any embellishment because, frankly, I am not that damn creative. So there you go.
I don't know nothing about nothing. I'm just an idiot. But
I am, too. I'm a moron.
Y'all talking about Ghost Asylum?
What
show were you guys talking about? Oh, Ghost Adventures.
Hey, how do I share a video with y'all?
Present your screen.
You got a screen share.
Screen share, where's that at? Right click?
No, it's...
Top of the screen.
Yeah, you go over to the left, you see that little green screen thing with the arrow in it?
Okay.
I will present your ugly mug to everybody.
Like that? Can y'all see it?
Something's coming up.
Yes.
It's flat.
There we go, yeah.
We'll play this thing for I caught this in Trans-Allegheny.
Try this side. Count 3. Take it off, please. All right? 1, 2, 3. Turn the light off. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I don't know, y'all saw how the Echo Box said that? I'll play it for y'all again. And watch the flashlight, too. I know what people say about flashlights and shit, but this is the first and only time I've ever used a flashlight on an investigation.
You gotta unmute yourself.
3. Turn the light off. Thank you.
How do I stop sharing?
Hit stop screen share on the top. I think you turn your webcam off of.
Dude, you should have ran over there with a REM pod, dude, and seen.
Well,
like,
this is part of the
like, see,
film.
like, that's what I would have done.
Hey, this is a part of a film I'm doing, and this is just a small clip. A lot more happened in that scene that you'll see when I release the doc.
Man, I'd run right over there, pick that flashlight up with a REM pod, and like try to feel if it was cold or hot.
I was
or,
actually
like, I mean,
able to get 3 devices to go off simultaneously, collaborating with one claim in there. So it's all going to be a part of the doc I'm doing. So I'll share it all with y'all.
Where was that at?
Where?
At Winter in the main building, or was that in?
That was in the main building in the Civil War kitchen.
Okay.
well, if you're having 3 devices go off at one time, that would suggest that they don't have just 2 on.
It wasn't at one time. It was all
Okay.
collaborations. We had the K2 going off intelligently. Then it would move to another piece. We were trying to. Well, I was trying to get different things happening at once, getting multiple pieces of devices to go off, collaborating with what we were talking about.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever, during any of your investigations, I know you've said you've been on a number of investigations. Now, based on the assumption that, and popular belief that ghosts or spirits use energy and can drain batteries to use said energy, let me ask you, have you ever tried to hook up a battery to a meter to see if when these things are going off, you can actually see, like, visibly the battery being drained as they use that for a source of, like, has there ever been any documentation of that visually, other than just
a device that can measure a battery that's being used in equipment that's active?
Yes.
Well, then it'd be a great one. No, I never have. But it'd be good. Send me a link to that device that can do that, and I'll go out there and do it for you. Or, hey, you could go do it. Get a video camera and do it. Document it. See what happens.
It's just get a little ohms meter, man. They're cheap. Just grab an ohm meter and see if when these devices are going off, just hook up like a 9-volt. That's all you need. You know what I mean?
Hook up an ohm meter to I'll hook up an ohm meter to the battery that's inside my REM pod.
Or just a 9-volt battery there and say, here, use this energy to make this go off, and see if you can, if while that's going off, you can actually see the voltage drop on that 9-volt battery as they drain it.
That's a good idea. Something to try. I mean, there's hundreds of different things you can do. And like Nikki said, we're only in these places for 5 hours. You realize it costs the people that went there had me come with them as a guest, but they paid $1,800 one night.
That's ridiculous,
Oh, yeah.
dude. That's
For Trans Allegheny, is that?
Dude, how do they?
So
how
when
do
I
you,
got the phone call and the invitation to come, I was like, boom, I'm there.
Yeah, you go, because that's like Pennhurst.
That's like
I got
buying a
offered to go for
ticket
free.
to a football game, dude. That's like going to see the Super Bowl.
But this is our Super Bowl.
There you go, Nikki.
To us,
So,
this
like,
is the Super
how do you
Bowl.
know you're not being taken advantage of by these?
Because I'm not paying.
I was in the Super Bowl up in there, man. That was the best, most haunted place I've ever walked into. That
Trans
place is
Allegheny?
the real deal. Have you been there?
I went there I did actually shot a documentary there in one of the buildings that has never been investigated before. And I was the first person to go in, and we had to go in by ourselves, and we had to do a list of things. It's called Project Revulsion.
Okay.
And they have a website. The documentary is not out yet. It was supposed to already be released, but there was a holdup. But
I'm working on the doc right now
it's pretty
for
neat.
that place.
Yeah.
Apparently, the new Ghost Ark has an ohms meter.
We're actually shooting a reenactment Friday. You know the story about the two patients that tried to hang the third one?
Yes,
And then
yes.
they put that poster?
Mhm.
We're reenacting that. We're
Re-
reenacting that.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Friday. We're
really
reenacting
interesting
it.
as shit.
We're using we're using a fire station. I got access to a fire station, and I'm using the green screen effect to make it look like a ghost, like an asylum room. And we're setting up 3 cots, and we're gonna have the 3 people in there, and we're gonna reenact the whole scene.
Nice. I'm typing you something here in the side
Rick's
chat.
gonna be the one that gets murdered.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah, I got some really good footage too of I got a footage of a lobotomy lesson in the 50s.
Oh,
And
that's
I got
awesome.
hidden footage of of some other stuff. It's all going to be in the dock, man. It's all going to be in there. I'm doing it. So
I'm going to make a piece of equipment. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hook an ohms meter up to a capacitor that can be recharged. And I'm going to put it in a nice, neat little box so that these spirits or these ghosts, I can say, hey, here's your little energy source right here. So while they're using the energy source from these capacitors that you can pick up at a car audio place, you can either get, a full or a half. And say, here's your energy, use this energy. I want to see if we can watch the energy drain from that capacitor while the spirit or the ghost or whatever the heck it is uses the energy from there to communicate. Because theoretically, that should be changing while you're getting an intelligent response if the spirits are using the energy the way that we think that they could be.
Question though. Okay, so you're gonna hook if you hook up a 9-volt battery, okay, and you hook up the meter. Now, does that drain in the same way or efficiency levels that if I have a piece of equipment that takes, I don't know, my millimeter would be a bad example because that's a 9-volt, but
right,
two double A's or something,
That piece of equipment has its own power source. All it does is reads the energy from said power source.
But can I use that while running said battery in said power device?
Well, then you'd be having a contaminated reading because your piece of equipment is draining the battery at the same time. So you could be reading the battery drainage from that piece of equipment.
Right. So you're going to hook it up to a standalone 9-volt battery, correct?
Or a capacitor.
Okay.
Like a capacitor.
I'm just trying to figure out the usage. Right. I'm just trying to figure out how to do the measurement.
But, well, I mean, if you I guess the capacitors will have a readout on them. If you get a 1.5 farad, if you get a really nice one for car audio, they'll have a readout on them that tells you voltage. But if you hook an ohms meter up to it, then the voltage on the ohms meter and the digital readout on the capacitor should read identical. You know what I mean? And if the spirits are using that as the energy, then you should see the voltage drop on both the ohm meter and the LED readout on your capacitor. Mm-hmm. And getting an intelligent response at the same time if they're using the energy from that capacitor to light up a REM pod or to speak into this microphone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would definitely love to do it and give it a try and, see what the outcome
Those two would have to coincide. If the theory is correct, then those two things would have to coincide. And there's one key right there to consistency. There's one answer to the way that it's believed spirits use energy. You know what I mean? If you can have that consistent readout while getting an intelligent response or light up on a REM pod or K2 or whatever, millimeter, whatever you said, whatever it is. You know what I mean? If those two things are happening simultaneously, then you have, I would even venture to say, evidence that the theory or hypothesis is correct.
Whoa. You're going to drop that word? Damn! Let's give it a whirl. Let's do this.
I'm just putting that out there. Because I have never talked to an investigator who has actually read the voltage on a battery separate from their equipment. You know what I mean? I've heard people say, well, my battery's draining super fast on the tablet, or my battery on my laptop, or, whatever flashlight, the equipment runs out quicker. Well, what if you brought their own energy source that you could visually see them use? Would you get more longevity on your equipment while they're using the energy from the capacitor and getting an intelligent response at the same time? There's bang in hand. You know what I mean? There's the way. Instead of just going in there and assuming, let's find out. Because there's ways to find out. You just have to be creative with it. And, let's find out.
Let's do it.
Let's do this, man.
All right, here we go. We go to eBay real quick. Find a 1.5.
Rob, I'm kind of disappointed in you, though.
Why?
Go out and buy a webcam and you still don't turn it on.
Why would I do that?
Why would you buy a webcam?
Okay, here we go.
Oh, look, Rick's back. Great, yay.
I've been back.
Where's Mark? What's Mark doing?
Sitting right here.
Hey, buddy.
Look at that right there.
He's sitting here just listening to us ramble on.
Mark told me to shut the fuck up earlier.
Boom. For $35 plus shipping, you could build one of these devices.
Why don't you build it for me, and I'll send you that plus shipping and ship it to me.
All
I
right.
told you, it's
There
like,
you go.
you
Now
want me to build it.
now you got a business growing.
Boom!
Boom.
I could
There we
charge
go.
$700, like the people that we don't mention. You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't care. I'll mention them. I ain't
names-
scared.
Yep.
I ain't scared. I'll call a con artist when I see it. I'm
Gonna eat
sorry.
your cornbread.
Not a fan. Not the fan.
Oh, we could have a good debate on this right now because I know where you guys are going.
Baby, I've been there. What are you talking about? I'm not going there. I've been there.
Got a
Screw
t-shirt.
that. That's right. Got the postcard too. No plans going back. Ever. No, there's just, some things within the field, no matter who they are, that I think is absolutely just, it's not something I'd ever do. I'm not going to take advantage of people. Won't do it.
Jason, you got money. Go buy that
Some
stuff
people
to make
do.
it
Do. Dude, there's like a helicopter right over top of my house, and it's getting annoying.
I hope it doesn't find all that pot in your backyard.
That's right.
Oh, she's going to burn the crops.
They're on to me now.
You got to hit the red button.
That's it.
Torch the fields.
That's right. The eject button, it just shoots me right,
there
wherever.
goes this-
Shoots
this
me
part.
directly to Tala, right in the middle of the field, Hopefully I don't land on that fountain thing.
I had another idea for another piece of equipment, but I think I don't give a shit.
Hey, Rob, I really think, man, you need to just go and get you some basic equipment and go out there and see what you get, man. You got to walk in your own shoes, bro.
I don't know that I'm ready to yet. I don't know enough about it just yet. Like, I'm watching videos.
Dude,
I'm
I
talking to
started off with a
investigators.
digital recorder and a flashlight wandering around buildings, you know what I'm saying?
Now,
Now,
first trespassing charge.
I started off learning how to edit just to post EVPs. Now I'm a full-time freelance editor and I get paid for it. So, I mean, you never know where this shit's going to take you, bro.
Oh, God.
I should pick your damn brains, man.
Oh,
Dude,
God.
Jealous of me, and he shows it every day.
Oh, my God.
Well,
I'm not going to be able to hold any.
I can't say what my profession is because Rick thinks I'm bragging, okay? So for everybody in the room, I work at fucking Pizza Hut, okay? So I'll lie, Rick, so you'll be
I
happy.
don't have a job. So there you go. I thought that was what I had to do, because I know, a lot of people within the community don't, so I figured I'd join the masses. Actually, it's
Hey.
against my will, but, whatever.
All I do is I edit episodes, and I get paid for it. So I work 2 days out of the week, and I get paid $800. So.
I wish I could do something like that, but instead I just sit here and...
I got lucky. I mean, I know how to edit, and someone needed an editor, and they said, hey, this guy Chris edits. So he asked me to help him out on an episode, and then he hired me for 24 episodes. So
I am not that damn lucky.
I wonder if I should investigate in Cleveland Brown's voice or Herbert the Pervert.
I say Elmo.
Alamo.
Listen to this motherfucker. Do it again.
Let's go find some ghosts.
Who's that?
Or
Ron?
they can even do some investigating like this.
Oh wow! That hat looks so good on that beard.
Say, Rick, send me some of your bath water.
Hold on. Rob, you got to turn your camera on when you're doing this. I want to see the facial expressions. I've always wondered if you, like, change everything.
Hold on. The
I
white
vote
piece.
for Elmo.
All right, hold on.
Yeah, Elmo with the camera on. There we go.
What's wrong, buddy? You not feeling well? Oh. My dog is scared to death of the camera.
Okay.
He was riding in the car with me today, and I went to take a picture because he was sitting next to me while I was driving. It looked cool. As soon as I turned on the camera, he took off in the back seat.
Camera shy.
Yeah.
Fortunately for you, Rick, there are no facial expressions. I can just do my voice like this.
Look at the camera. Look at the camera.
Oh, hi, puppy.
Look at the camera. Say hi. No, I don't want to look at the camera. I don't want to don't make me look at the camera. He gets mad.
Sticky finger in his bone.
No.
Look at Rob.
That's not wrong. Mr. Noodles!
I've never seen it with the camera on. Oh my god.
It's in the Alamo.
Tickle me Elmo.
That's amazing.
Hey, Rick, you have some nice nipples. Would you share it with the mom?
He had us rolling the other night. I threw a story, like a paragraph from 50 Shades of Grey there, with pervert to pervert's voice.
Hold on, let's find it. I'll do it right now. I don't give a shit. Find another paragraph. I'll read it. Let's see if I can find it here. Paragraph from 50 Shades of Grey.
Rick, tell y'all we were filming in the French Quarter the last 4 days.
Oh,
I
here
think
we
we're
go.
all jealous.
Here we go. No, I got one right here. No. I don't want to save it. No.
Before I know it, he's got both of my hands and my grip above my head. And he's pinning me to the wall using his lips.
Give some of the hand grabs my hand. Yeah. Bring my face up and his lips on mine. Show me how you pleasure yourself. Keep still. I'm going to have to work on keeping you still, baby.
Let's say if we can make you come like this. Oh my God, you're so delicious.
God, I don't think so. I'm going to fuck you down. Then still, huh? Come for me, Anna.
Anyone named Anna just got the heebie-jeebies.
Is Countess Anna around in the chat room? Let's see.
What up?
Should we get into it at 2 o'clock in the morning? 3 o'clock for some of you.
My tongue came to strokes this slow erotic dance. This erection against my belly.
He's reading excerpts from 50 Shades of Grey.
Doesn't Nikki hate Anthony Sanchez?
Oh,
Yes.
God.
Yes. Sorry, I was muted, but I gave you lots more yeses.
Yeah.
I have personal reasons.
Hey, Justin.
I know him a little bit. I mean, we're not friends or anything. We're friends on Facebook, but that's it.
I don't like what he did to me personally. Oh, yeah, I don't like what he did to me personally. You know, he had stepped into an argument, I guess. It wasn't even an argument, I didn't think. But he stepped in, he said some very, really ignorant things. And go figure, right? And gave me an ultimatum as to ending a friendship or to remain in his good graces. And I'm sorry, I don't care who the hell you are. you don't choose my friends.
Uh,
I can do that myself. So
I could totally see him doing that too. He gets on a big power trip.
right, I didn't appreciate that, And as for what he does within the field, that's up to the people who use the equipment. I
Yeah,
can
I
just
tried
say
to-
I'm not going to pay for any of it,
I'll tell you what he does in the field.
but there you
He had
go.
sex with one man.
There's no way.
Yeah, I don't. His
I
equipment.
love me to be friends with you.
I don't like. I don't think they work that well. So
I actually have documented, and I wish I had it. I've unfortunately had some computer crashes. It's probably on one of my Dropboxes, one of my like 3 million of them. But I actually had documented each and every response that I received from one of the particular software things that he has out. And, it literally got to the point of being predictable. The phrases were constantly, they were consistent. It's a word, it's supposed to be a variable radio, but it's not. I feel that it's not.
you feel it's
Based off of
random word
my,
generated?
well, based off of my information only, okay,
recognize
not
that
basing
bottle
it
rate?
on anyone else's. But that was simply my findings from what I have experienced. Now, granted, I'm not going to lie. I have used this and felt like I've gotten something that was underlying, not within the word bank.
Yeah.
Not any of those over vampire blood. The things that you're hearing very easily,
Yeah.
I discredit completely for my own personal investigations. Other people might feel differently, and they're entitled to do so. Who the hell am I? I'm nobody. I've gotten some underlying things that were interesting, but I think I could probably get those with a box fan if I was meant to receive the message. Just saying, I'm not going to give 100% credit to, any one particular device. I think that where there's a will, there's a way, but I think that there's a lot of people who are blinded by the simplicity of the words coming through very crisp and clear and aren't really, looking further than that. So, yeah.
I'm actually trying to get away from the whole apps in general. I just feel like they're kind of like with my group. Okay, like when we did this Cafe Soul investigation, I said, look, we're not going to use the Echobox. And it's for personal reasons because I can't fucking stand Danny. All right, that's a long story. But I was like, look, we're not using the Echobox because I feel like we come in, we forget our fundamentals and our basics of what we do, and we're just jumping straight to the Echobox. Ooh, let's just get these net, and we're not really adding any validity to the haunting of what's going on there. And besides, we're not catching great evidence like disembodied voices, like EVPs, maybe getting other things like that. That's way more credible than an app.
Well, I think there's a place for them. Okay. There's a place, as well as there's a place for them not to be. I think that if that's the sole item that's used for, one person, they go in the field and that's the only thing that they use, then they definitely are not getting the full picture, or they're basically wasting the investigation.
I've always said this: you should never use a spirit box or an app to determine whether a place is or isn't haunted. You have other devices and other things, situations happen to determine that.
I agree.
Say, oh, I got this phrase from an Echobox, or I used the Echobox for an hour. This place is haunted. You can't do that. You can't.
No. Now, I do find it intriguing when you use the Echobox and you get a full friggin' sentence.
Or
that
like
makes
when I was in
friggin' sense,
Tala,
and you're like, holy shit,
Yeah, if you get a good listen to that audio I had in Tala, you'll hear it say, turn that light off, and then the flashlight turns off. I just think that's two devices showing validity to a paranormal activity going on. Mm-hmm. And I believe two's more better than one, so that's
definitely. And I think that, for me, more so, Danny and I as well have had our differences in the past. We decided to call a truce. It was years down the road, but we definitely did not see eye to eye for a very, very long time. I didn't. Yeah, well, I didn't lose respect for him for his device. It was something personal. But for his device, I think it does have its place in the field. I think it does not have preset words. Okay, I don't think that when you go through the files and you break into the, meat and potatoes of his device, that you're going to get full words at the bottom of it. The way that it's broken up is phonetic sounds. And there's sometimes where it makes no friggin' sense, and people look at you like, I know you have to develop an ear for it. And I think the first time you turn on an echo box, you're probably like, what the hell is that? You know, okay. But you know, I've gotten full sentences that have been relevant and, you know, to where I'm at, and it's intriguing. Am I going to sit there and say, oh, you know, this is undoubtedly this person? No, I can't say that with anything that I get. You know, I can say it's intriguing. There's only one person who's no longer here that might know the answer to that question. But am I reaching? I think I could very well be reaching, and whether that be with a actual radio, you know, my Holtes box. I love Steve Holte, and I have the Holtes box. Do I see eye to eye with any of these people on every single thing that they do or say? No. No. There's no one on the planet that I see 100% eye to eye with everything they say or do. Do I love my Holtes box? Yes. I feel lucky that I have one. Damn right. I love it. Would I love a Frank's box? Hell yeah. Would I probably a kidney? Damn straight. You know, I'd love to have one. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. 'Cause I made a confession as to just how far I'd go one time on a stream, and I'll never live it down for a Frank's box.
Well, that's okay.
Frank was making me one when then he died. So I had just gotten word that he had agreed to make me one. So I'm very, you know, of course sad that, you know, I think we lost somebody who definitely wasn't trying to use it for this. And we found another purpose, and I think he was a great guy. But I can't say that everybody's a great guy in this field, or girl for that matter. But I don't know. What the hell do I know? You know, I just know from my own personal point of view.
You just gotta find the good people and stick with them. You know.
But, you know,
don't stick with me.
But it's very easy to have the wool pulled over your eyes. I like to think that I'm a very good judge of character, and evidently I've been friggin' hosed I don't know how many times, because it seems to me that in this field people have the magical power to act like they're somebody else, and you can meet them in person. That's not just over the internet keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm talking about in person, literally spending hours upon hours on the phone every night, going and investigating with them, and you know, having commitments with them throughout the field, and you think you know them. And then you see the real side.
Yeah.
And I've honestly had the opportunity, unfortunately, to have that happen multiple times. And it's really made me question, like, dude, I must be the shittiest judge of character there is. Because, like, there's no way in hell that you can get snowballed this many damn times. But in this field, very easy. Very, very easy.
You're my friend.
I had Danny come down here and stay with me in New Orleans for a weekend one time. We were best friends.
I remember that, actually. That actually falls into play with my problem. I'll explain that one later.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I know exactly when that was too. But
Mardi Gras.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Mardi
Yeah.
Gras. We ran the Echo Box during the Bacchus parade to see what would happen.
Well, now, what do you think of the EVR? Okay, now, like, you probably still do use the Echo Box occasionally, even though you don't agree necessarily with everything that Danny mentioned.
I transitioned, stopped using it, so I've completely stopped using it now.
But will you use any of his other equipment, or no? See, I'm open to use equipment, even if I don't see eye to eye with the person, but I can tell you there's some that I might buy, and then there's some that I wouldn't pay shit for, in fact. So there you go. Does that mean that I think that I would never use their stuff? No.
It's kind of 50-50. It's kind of personal. It's kind of like the group and I, we're starting to become more filmmakers. You know what I'm saying? And when we do so in our films, you're going to see reenacted interviews. You're only going to see probably 10 minutes of investigating. And when I put that in there, I just don't want to put acts in there. I want to put stuff in there like disembodied voices. I want to get back to like the basics right now. So it's kind of like a decision I made, not just personally, but see, I'm friends with Steve Huff. Me and Huff have been friends since 2011. Okay, I don't use the SD1. I don't promote the SD1 because I don't think the SD1. I think the SD1 is shit. You know, and I still respect Steve. You know, but I don't.
Oh my God! I'm trying to be nice. Sorry, God.
Are you really friends with? Hold on. Are you really friends with Steve Huff, too?
on a personal level friends, but the way he investigates and stuff, and I understand a lot of people have issues with Steve. Okay, I understand that, but I've known Steve before he even started, you know, and him and I have always kind of had a mutual respect for each other, and it's never been disrespectful. I know other people have had problems with him, blah blah blah, but Rick and I had this conversation earlier today. It's friends, like people that like. It's getting so saturated with the crossovers. Like, I might be friends with someone who screwed you over, Nikki. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, I totally believe it, because there's probably people that are best friends with them that have screwed me over. And you know what? That's okay. I will never ask anybody to pick or choose or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, if that's what you're into, that's cool. It's definitely sure as shit not for me. But I actually got a message this evening while I was on air, and I didn't see it till afterwards. In regards to actually him. And maybe you could tell me if this is true, and, you know, to each his own, but this isn't something that I would choose to do.
And Nikki, not my best friend or anything. We just always kind of...
Oh, no, I'm not going to hold it against you. I might twitch a little now and then when you say his name, but that's about it.
You know, yeah.
I just don't believe in taking advantage, in my eyes, or monetizing. You can monetize videos all day long, do it all day long. Create equipment, do it all day long. You know, I don't expect people to do their job for free. People have to make a living. I totally understand that. In fact, I'd love to earn a living. But evidently he is now charging for ghost box sessions.
And don't sit there and tell me
Is
that you
that
have
true?
110% undeniable proof. I will not accept
Yeah,
that.
I don't appreciate that statement, and I don't care if it came out of his mouth or whomever's mouth that is, that my device is 100% going to guarantee spirit communication.
Yeah.
My ass.
I don't know. Me and Steve don't talk much. We don't talk much. I just know he's never screwed me over. But
Right. I don't like that claim, regardless as to whose mouth it came out of. If it came out of yours, I'd tell you bullshit. I'm pretty blunt and I'm pretty bold, and I'll just tell you how it is. You know, I don't believe that that's fact. I don't believe, as I heard on Coast to Coast, that you can use this particular device, and I know that I've communicated with aliens.
It's false claims. It is.
Right, and it's, you know, but that's the problem with this field, is that clouds, you know, there's some people who don't know that that's a false claim. They really think that this person, they drink all their Kool-Aid. You know, and granted, yes, you can't.
And you know what? Hold on.
It's
like,
just
to that,
I don't like it.
If you want to drink the Kool-Aid, fine. But when people start throwing their money at you because you're saying shit like that, I got a problem with it. That's all. I mean, if you want people to drink the Kool-Aid, follow you along, and everything like that, that's cool. But if you start throwing money, money starts exchanging hands based on that claim, then I have an issue.
I mean, and there's a lot of stuff, like I was talking to Rick, that goes on in the paranormal field with drama that I don't even know.
Dude, it's all drama. In fact, you know, G Plus is actually like the National Enquirer of, you know, lately it used to be Facebook. I think now it's G Plus, where you can literally, if you happen to go to sleep, I don't do it all that often, but when I do, I actually avoid it until somebody else, like, brings it up and I have to go look.
Yeah.
It's like a train wreck. You know, I remember when, you know, coming into this field, I didn't have this bullshit and drama. It was really about investigating, and, you know, it's now just, like,
it's
freaking ridiculous. Yeah.
It is. But, like, I don't know about all the drama that's going on, you know? Like, I'm
good. Good for you. Good
for you.
Stay that way, dude. Stay that way. Run.
That's the only time I get pissed off when people say my name. When people start
well, that's where, you know, I have a problem with, you know, Mr. Sanchez. It's documented. It's all out there for, you know, I'm not saying anything behind anybody's back. He did it. Throwing my name around when it came to a altercation, verbal, whatever, typing argument that he had with Danny. And, you know, he put it out there in the public eye, right on a YouTube comment, throwing my name out there. And I don't appreciate that.
Yeah, I would get pissed. If someone
I got pissed.
My name out there, I'd be fucking pissed.
This time I've actually spoke about it, to be honest with you, in a public forum. Typically I won't do that. But you know what? It's getting to be complete and utter bullshit. And frankly, I'm not the type of chick to bend over and fucking take it. Oh, hell no. You know, so Damn. I'm just saying. Okay?
Just saying.
You know what? I'm a bitch, and I know it, and that's okay. I've come to terms with it. I'm sure others, are probably like, damn straight. Thank God. At least she knows it.
That comment is not true. It's purely the opinion of myself, the paranormal skeptic. It has nothing to do. And that message has not been approved by Nikki.
Do you have to play disclaimer like I do on my station when I run my...
I'm just putting it out there that that's not words that came out of your mouth.
Every show, evidently, I should have a disclaimer. In fact, I'm wondering at the event this weekend whether or not I have to carry around the disclaimer on my phone and hit the button every time I open my mouth. My views are not that of liveparanormal.com.
Right.
They are of my own.
So wait, you're in the Northeast, right, Nikki?
Mm-hmm. I'm in Maryland.
You're in Maryland? So you know a lot of the Northeast investigators. You know, like John Brightman?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Are you friends with him?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I met him at a convention. I spoke in Tyler, Texas, like 2 years ago.
Yes, I actually remember when he went to that. And then after that, he went to a tattoo convention. No, he's a good friend of mine. We don't talk as much as we used to. I think, we had, once again, that paranormal drama, steps into play. But, we're definitely still friends, and I respect him. And I know he's faced a lot of bullshit in this field, too.
Yeah, I know. He's got Selena Rome was talking a lot of shit about him, saying that he was banned from all the North conventions because he was stealing money from people or charging extra or some shit like that.
And that's hilarious because you know what? He actually brought to people a device that was being sold by competitors for $150, and he was selling it for right above cost. I mean, let's be honest, people. You have to make money. If this is something that you do, you got to live, right? You got to be able to eat.
I ran tours down in New Orleans forever, taking people on ghost hunts.
Mm-hmm.
There's
nothing wrong with that. I'm doing an event this weekend where I'm taking people on ghost hunts. I don't get paid. Somebody else does, but
you get an equipment introduction and you get to learn about it, and I take you on a ghost hunt.
There you go.
5-star rating, man. We did good. The guy that was sitting in the recliner earlier, he was like the lead tour guide. He was good, But
it's nice when you have a good tour guide because I had one that
gotta have personality.
Definitely, they offered to record something. I had some incredible experiences that should have been documented on film, and they refused to send me the file. I didn't appreciate that very much.
No, but see, with John, it was a funny story. We were actually investigating this little chapel on this plantation. It's like a plantation, and they had a few different houses on the place. And they had a chapel where they married people. And this is pretty personal, but I mean, I don't think John would mind. The Echovox starts saying something like, John, I want to talk to John. And John was outside smoking a cigarette. So they went and got John. John came back in and said, hey, I'm here. Someone wanted to talk to me. He said, yeah, it's me, Dad.
Oh, wow.
And John's face just dropped and tears started coming.
I'm sure.
And he went outside, and it was crazy. One of the guys that was walking outside grabbed his chest, like his own chest, okay, and said, my chest is hurting. And John even got more emotional.
I bet. Oh, wow. Yeah.
John's father had passed.
Yes, I know.
4 months prior of a heart attack in the car wreck. And John was like, that's his voice. John was shaking. It was like, we were all like, holy shit, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually with him the weekend before his dad's accident.
Did he tell you the story about the Echovox and Tyler?
He probably did, but you know how John works. He will call you, and then he'll go, oh, somebody's coming in the shop. Let me call you back. Yeah. I'll finish the story in a little bit, and then he'll call you, and you'll be like, in the middle, because like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning is like my awake time, and sometimes it's his too.
We're not really close, which is cool. Like he'll comment on my stuff sometimes. I'll comment on his.
Yeah, he's my buddy. He's a big 6'7". He's 6'7". A 6'7" teddy bear.
Yeah, he's real soft. Voice, really cool.
Yeah.
Rob,
He's awesome.
Rob said he feels like he's eavesdropping on a phone conversation.
I'm just listening, dude. I'm just chilling.
Chilling? You chilling?
Just
chilling like a villain.
Drinking some Mountain Dew. Washing it down with a nice beverage.
I'm not making my cards like I was supposed to, but shit happens.
Damn
We're
rips.
supposed to- We got a contractor coming in to remodel the kitchen tomorrow morning, so I should probably be
Ooh.
cleaning up, but I'm gonna find it.
I used to clean before the cleaning lady came. Did that make any sense? Now I just wish I had a cleaning lady still.
So Rick, I didn't get to go to school, man. My wife's GI Bill was transferable by like a couple of months.
It was transferred what?
It was non-transferable. My wife's GI Bill was non-transferable.
Oh, that's fun.
Because you have to spend at least 6 years in and have a commitment up to 10. So you have to like re-enlist for another 4 after that 6 before your benefits can be transferable. So just goodbye. Just a little bit. But and I already transferred my benefits to my 2 boys. So they could go to school. But so she's going to school. So she decided to go. So that's always good. Yes. Whatever.
Okay, now hold on. I'm seeing this comment in here. Nikki, who is Justin Snay? Said he has to go unlock the asylum.
Yeah, he's a cool cat. He's a cool cat, dude. Like he was on one of my shows one time. He's a pretty cool cat.
What asylum did you run?
I have no idea. I actually just talked to him in the chat a few times. I remember. I don't know where we first ran into each other.
Huh. I think it's the first time I've seen his name in my chat. But when he said,
He's cool. Cool guy.
Yeah, he's a cool cat, man. He's not.
Yeah, no. What caught my
Nikki approved.
what caught my attention was I have to go unlock the asylum. And I'm like, hold on.
Dude, I know. We're all like a.
I think he's probably talking about like his dreams, or he's just like speaking in code.
I was like, hold on, don't leave us behind. I'm on my
I know, right? What
he's
asylum?
A security
I
guard.
love mental
Okay,
asylums.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
love
he's a
mental
security
asylums.
guard.
Oh, look, I didn't even know we were already friends, Nikki. I was going to send you a friend request.
Hey, we're friends. I've got lots of friends. Lots
Yeah,
of friends. I do. You know what? I got today.
But I'll
Was
tell
it
you what.
weird or what? I had like 200 and some odd friends requests today. I'm like, where the hell did that come from? And it was like just a weird number, more than usual. And I'm like, what the hell? And we only had like one mutual friend. I'm like, what? That I find odd.
That is
Usually
weird.
you have friends and you've got like 1,000 mutual friends and you're like, oh shit.
Okay, we should know each other, you know?
We should. We should investigate. Let's all go investigate somewhere.
I want to go.
Hey, won't you come to South Pittsburgh Hospital in November? That's near, that's not too far from you, huh?
Tennessee, right?
No, that's in Pittsburgh, South Pittsburgh.
It's in Pittsburgh? Real Pittsburgh?
Go
Oh, that's the one that,
Steelers.
no, that's the one that, what was it? Steve was at?
Hey, why don't you guys come
Like,
down
2 weekends ago?
and let's go
Dustin?
to the Devils.
South Pittsburgh, you know?
I could definitely do that.
Let's do the Devils Tramping Ground in North Carolina. Let's go
Yes,
do that.
we have to do that too. Have you heard of that place?
What?
The Devils Tramping Ground in North Carolina?
No, I haven't heard of it.
Okay. Well, legend has it that that's where the devil himself comes up from the earth and whatever and does this thing. But it's a perfect circle in the middle of this field where nothing grows and hasn't grown. And people have tried to plant there. Scientists have tested the soil. There is no explanation as to why nothing grows there in this perfect circle. And they call it the Devil's Tramping Ground because they think that, you know, the devil comes up and walks around. You know what I mean? Like, that's the legend. But what I find more intriguing is that, you know, for hundreds of years, nothing has grown there. And scientists have tested the soil and have no reasonable explanation as to why nothing can grow there, even though people have planted there and it doesn't sprout. There's just nothing. It's just this bare patch of dirt.
Sounds interesting. I don't know.
I'm the one that showed him. I was like, this has got my name written all over it, Devil's Tramping Ground.
Yep.
Just the name has got me there.
Well,
I
see,
wonder what the devil was there if he had a violin. I'm gonna pull out a fiddle.
People say that they've seen stuff out there. They say that they've tried to pitch a tent inside the circle, And when they try to sleep inside the circle, like they wake up and they're outside. You know what I mean? Or if you put something in the middle of it, when you wake up, it's gone. It's like nowhere to be found.
I said I'll go. I'll sleep in it.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
All right, who would go to this concert? NWA and Eminem.
Me.
Eminem and NWA.
Yeah, they just announced they're going on tour.
Who's
I'd
gonna
go.
be? Well, who's gonna be first? Like, I might stick around for Eminem, but I'm here to see NWA.
NWA would just be boss to see, just because they're way back from the day. I'm going to see Incubus and Deftones next month.
That's a good one. I want to see Lamb of God. I want to see Lamb of God. Dude, that drone would come in handy down there at the Devil's Tramping Grounds for sure.
He could be our aerial photographer.
We're really excited for Sloths, though, man. We're gonna get so much amazing shots of Sloths. We could just post 30 minutes of aerial shots of Sloths, and it'd be our doc. Here you go. 100,000 views.
But so I'm gonna let this run it for about another 10 minutes, and I'm gonna edit. We've been going for over 2
Yeah, I'm about to
hours.
hit up myself.
Holy shit!
I was supposed to be editing this whole time, man.
I'm supposed to be making postcards that I'm supposed to pick up tomorrow morning.
Well, it was a pleasure to speak with you.
Bullshit.
Make sure the people that are watching, if you're watching this afterwards, that you go and subscribe to everybody's channels.
Yeah, I have my own show that I do. So if you want to see the asshole in action.
The asshole in action. Why don't we just call you a delicate starfish? Like my sugar.
Starfish.
Hey, look up sugar-free gum bears on Amazon. Read the reviews, and you will learn about Dante's Inferno and delicate starfish, and it's the funniest friggin' thing you'll ever read. It's the best.
Yeah, subscribe to everybody's channel.
Yeah, do that
Especially
shit.
Jason, because he hasn't said shit. He's just sitting here eating pizza, watching us. Like a
He's the pizza. He's the pizza eater.
What's going to happen is when Jason finally, it's going to be after all we die, but when he dies, the paranormal investigator is going to have to contact him by putting a large pizza down in front, like in the middle of the room.
That's going to be the way to communicate with him. Pizza.
Exactly.
Pizza communications.
It's going to be like a New Age seance with a large pizza.
And then all Jason's going to do is be like, welcome to the asylum.
Yeah, I posted my website in the chat.
Right on. Welcome to the chat.
Holla.
Jason, we're giving you shit, dude, but we do like your shows.
We like you, man.
I speak for myself.
We like you, dude. You're pretty cool. We'll keep you.
Yeah, I want to say thanks to everybody that tuned in.
Whatever, Rick, where's my $20 you promised me?
Here's an IOU, right?
Paranormal Society
is the only way I got out of paying for dinner tonight. He's like, you better come on my live feed tonight.
Where's my pizza at? Huh?
This pizza.
I know you've been munching on that son of a bitch. And actually, hey, Chris, you remember when I was in Sally's house and I had that pizza delivered to me?
Yeah.
The air ghoster's the guy that sent it, Jason.
Thanks, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
I have people, I literally gave emails of people saying, let's go to Sally's house. I want a free pizza.
Damn. That was cool to be Jason.
It was. Kind of scared the shit out of us because we're upstairs in Sally's room having a good session. All of a sudden, boom, boom, boom on the front door.
Yeah, I've been talking to Rick. I might, Mark and I might start doing live sessions when we go to investigations now. Yeah,
it's fun.
You know,
I told him
super
to knock
friggin'
as loud as
stressful.
possible.
when we go to a place that we're gonna film, we spend like all day filming and then we investigate that night. So
Nice.
Knock as loud as possible. Yeah. Paranormal joke. Waka waka.
Waka waka waka. Yee.
We thought it was the cops.
What, were you guys that crazy?
Well, no.
The cops are here.
The cops are known by stopping by that house just to check.
Right.
It's because a week before that, Rick got caught masturbating in the Sally house.
Ah, the truth comes out. So that's what he was doing when he was checking his phone signal. Okay, because he went to check and see if his signal worked. So that's what he was caught doing out front or something?
Yeah.
Couldn't help it.
He was dead for 72 hours.
Leave me alone. I'm checking the K2.
He just really likes that.
Get some
lot.
over here.
I'm trying to calibrate my millimeter. I mean, my millimeter.
Millimeter. Oh, shit. That's a good one.
And it's taking a left turn.
Damn. Since when did this
times,
happen? Good time. Good times.
We gotta laugh, though.
Thank you, because, you know, we could all walk around like we have a stick up our ass when we're investigating, and when we do, talking about paranormal is a very serious situation. But you know what? I don't think that everything needs to be so serious. There's a time for that, and then there's time to have fun. Sorry.
Unless you're with a paid editor by the name of Chris, then it's also business.
I can have fun.
Are you taking a shot at me, Rick? Taking a shot at me? You're a hater, man.
Shots fired live on air.
Oh my god, my dog's right here. I saw something moving. I'm like, what the hell is that? My dog?
You should have seen Rick's face. When I got that contract and I told Rick about it, it was on Skype. Oh my god, you should have seen his face.
Dude, okay, I have one more legitimate question that's coming way out of fucking left field. Has anybody ever mistaken a fart for an EVP?
What now?
You should watch that Saturday Night Live skit. Anybody see that Saturday Night Live skit about Most Haunted and Derek?
Dude, somebody's got to, like somebody farts in the middle of a session, and they catch it on, and they're like, oh, did you hear that? It was saying, it's a negative spirit. Yeah. You know, like, I mean, do you think that that's possible?
I'm not allowed to Taco Bell before investigations anymore.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you know, a little tweener, and then, like, they think it's an EVP.
I'm sure it's happened. I'm sure it's totally possible. I had a girl who had a stuffy nose and she kept rubbing her nose, and I'll tell you, I knew that, so I knew that going in when I was going to review my stuff, and I'm like, great, this is going to be a real bitch. And I'll tell you, when she was like rubbing her nose, you could hear it on my recorder across the room, and it sounded like something was being drug across the floor.
Jeez.
You know, you learn the sensitivity of, you know, and document, like, if you think you might forget, document that, you know, something was happening. And tagging is important, but people don't do it. And don't whisper, for Christ's sake.
Mark that, I just farted.
Dude, and if your stomach growls, please also tag that. You know, we understand digestion sounds, but it gets really friggin' annoying when somebody won't own up to it. Yeah.
Mark that, I quit.
Just be like, tag that. Oh, tag that. Yeah, there you go.
I think if you set a standard of what your evidence is or isn't, because there's people that will post EVPs and the way they sound, I wouldn't even post that shit. I'd be like, that's really not. You need to do something that's like, wow. Okay.
Why do you think I haven't done all mine? I have over a year. Over a year, I've went on investigations. God, I don't know, a lot of investigations in the past year, and I have not had the time to go through and, you know, put them together in a way that I feel is good. I haven't got a chance to review them outside of here. I don't live in the quietest of households, and I'd like an opportunity to review them elsewhere so I can have a better feel for my evidence. So, but just wait. When I do, it's gonna be overwhelming, I think.
Yeah.
If I ever get to the bottom of it all.
But I'm sure you're not going to post the EVP and go,
no.
Did you hear that little rumble?
Yeah, no.
I mean, like,
no.
Hear that? No, you're going to be like, it's not gonna make the cut. You know?
Right. When in doubt, throw it out. And you know what? There's more that I throw out that somebody else might go, hey, wait a minute. Yeah. You know, I think that's decent, but you know, to me, if there's any doubt, it's
I've already set this standard for myself. If there's any possible contamination, no matter what's on an household, that's going to be my standard. Which means I'm not using spirit boxes or so.
I mean, for me, it has to be like, without a doubt, you know, we can't explain this. Kind of like Mark's disembodied voice. You know what I'm saying? Without a doubt, I mean, everybody could hear that was a little girl. I mean, come on. Now, if it was maybe a knock or a pin, something like that, I'd be like, we're not posting that shit, you know. Now, give me a voice of a little girl, we'll post it, you know, and then gotta have that standard, you know. And it's just kind of like with the apps. You get these people sitting in their living rooms and they're posting all this and they're calling it evidence, and it's just like it's so saturated that no one can even really take it all in, you know. People who post a lot of ITC research or a lot of apps, they don't get much love. They don't get many likes. It's because everybody's fucking doing it, you know. And that's the thing about paranormal. It's not supposed to be easy to capture. Not many people are supposed to be able to get that shit unless they fucking go into these haunted places. But no, you got these motherfuckers sitting in their goddamn living room running this stuff.
Well,
Talking
in their defense, coming from a skeptic, in their defense, there will always be more dead people than there are people who are alive. So you never really know who's died where and when. So maybe, I mean, if there's any validity to your evidence, then you have to at least entertain the idea that there could be validity to theirs. I think that's fair.
Not when they're sitting in their living room.
Why not? What if there's a dead dude underneath their house that died in that house and they just bought it? Like, why not?
You just put him there. No, I'm kidding.
Like, I mean, come on, dude. There's how many?
Needs to get super intelligent. Like, what is separating your evidence from everybody else's?
Well, I could ask you the same question.
To make you stand out. I could post things that makes me stand out from everybody else. You know, I mean, I put in the time and the effort. I dropped thousands of dollars to travel the country to buy the latest equipment, to spend hours inside a haunted location.
Okay, here, hold on a second.
Why should I really have to listen to somebody that sits in their living room for 10 minutes playing the app?
Well, hold on a second. Hold on.
I'm a dick.
I get what you're saying, but let's put this into perspective. You know what I mean? Like, let's talk about football for a second. What makes a great football player stand out?
He does shit nobody else can on the team.
No, he doesn't. Absolutely not. He does shit better. He's still doing the same shit any running back can do. Those are skills. Those are athletic skills. He's doing the same shit a quarterback can do. Throw the ball down the field. That wide receiver is doing the same shit any wide receiver can do, catching the ball. They just do it better. You can't make that comparison in the paranormal field. When somebody like myself can go out and buy the same exact equipment that you use and go to the same exact location and get different results. There's no one in the paranormal field that can stand out or do anything better when the comparisons and the, you know what I mean? Like, you just can't do that. There's no way. Because I could buy all the equipment you have and go do it, and you either get the same results or better results, or like there's no way that you can stand out in the paranormal field unless you put yourself out there and make these elaborate claims, as the people Steve Huff does. Like, that's why he stands out. Let's be real. He came up with his own equipment.
You can stand out and not have to put elaborate stuff out there like that. You know, I don't think.
But how? That's like how? You're using, everybody's got the same equipment.
It's more personality that, and what people are attracted to than actually what evidence is going on. Nikki's fan base isn't from what the evidence he captures. It's because he's a likable guy and like people like to watch him. Zach Baggins, most of those people aren't watching it for the evidence. It's because he puts on a really good show to make people feel scared. That's what sets him different.
That's not. I don't buy that either, because if Nikki wasn't even a paranormal investigator, nobody would go and watch her show on liveparanormal.com. Sure, she's beautiful. I'm sure she has a great personality, but if she doesn't have anything to bring to the table, nobody gives a shit unless they're drinking the Kool-Aid. And those aren't the people that you want supporting your cause any fucking way. Is it?
Because I don't serve Kool-Aid, so.
That's all I'm saying. Like, there's nothing you can do on a level playing field as the paranormal field is. Like, if you people
can match their passion with their actions. If people are super passionate about the paranormal and they have questions and they want to pursue it and they want to become knowledge and educated, get off their butts and they need to go out there and they need to put in the work.
Why? When they can just buy the equipment.
That's just like anything in the world, man. If you want to do anything, you got to put your ass to be a soldier. You got to bust your ass. You got to be dedicated. You got to go to boot camp. I can't sit here and talk to you about soldier stuff like that.
Here's the thing, though. Hold on. That's just a separation of label, dude. That's just a separation of label. Just because I'm a soldier doesn't mean that I can shoot a weapon better than you can. Doesn't mean that I have access to
But I
different
guarantee you're
countries
never
than
going
you
to know
do.
unless I go out there and shoot that gun.
Doesn't mean that you, but you can go out and buy a gun.
I'm just
Here's
saying,
the thing. You can go out and buy a gun right
unless
now.
you go out there and do it.
You can go out and buy a gun right now and fire that gun in your backyard.
That
I
takes action. What I'm saying is people who sit in their
Hold on.
living rooms with apps aren't taking
Hold
any
on. Let's make the fair comparison here. Let me finish. You can go and buy a gun right
The
now.
comparison is people who
Hold on. Let
apps
me
in their
finish.
living room are shooting a dart at a dartboard with an air gun compared to a soldier out there shooting a target.
Absolutely not. No, because they're using the same equipment you are, dude.
They're
They
not.
have access to
You're
the
not
same
using
equipment.
equipment that I use. You don't use the $10,000 in equipment that we have.
Doesn't mean they can't.
You don't
Doesn't
put
mean
out
that they can't.
the SLS camera. You don't put out the drone, all that stuff. You don't. You have.
It doesn't mean that they can't, though. That's the thing. Just because I'm firing an M16 doesn't matter. Doesn't mean you can't go out and buy a
I don't want to get into an argument about it. I understand that you're passionate about the paranormal and stuff, but dude, there's a difference between you and I, bro. There's a big difference.
What, money?
No, it's
Did you
not
spend
money.
more money?
It's not money. It's me. The fact that I'm out there in the actual field investigating.
Dude, what is the difference between the actual fields? Because look at how many people there are on Earth. There will always be
That's
more
what
dead people
separates
on
us,
Earth.
bro. I get up, I go out there, and I go out into these
There will always be more. It doesn't matter where you go. If spirits and ghosts exist, they could be anywhere.
You're
It
never
doesn't
gonna
matter if it's at a haunted location or not, dude.
It's not gonna happen.
It does like
I have
haunted.
a better chance in Trans-Allegheny.
Why? Just because it's labeled a haunted location? You're
It is
telling
haunted.
me that I can't. Okay,
It is
hold on.
haunted. You'll never
What
know.
makes it haunted though? Somebody died there? Like I could go to a nursing home and get the same freaking evidence you could from Trans-Allegheny because people fucking died there.
Well,
That's
you
okay.
can't sit here and say that because you haven't done it. That's an assumption.
That doesn't matter. What I'm telling you is you cannot put yourself on a pedestal and say that I've been here and been here and been
We
here.
can agree to disagree on things, dude. I think there's a difference you don't. I mean, we don't have to argue about this. You know what I'm saying? I think once you ask a couple of the other people in the chat how they feel, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, Nikki, tell me how you feel about somebody who goes to a nursing home or sits in their living room versus somebody who goes
Yeah,
to
we got real
Trans-Allegheny.
investigators in here. They've been listening to the whole thing.
Rick, you tell me.
Thousands of dollars. They go out there and they. How do y'all feel about it?
I can tell you that I think that I do have a problem with people who are not really in the field, who are simply an armchair investigator, being a part of the, how do I say this, influence of the general population because they're thought of as being, you know, I guess like an authority, if you will. I do not believe there are experts. I'm sorry, there's no such thing, as every one of you know who've had the pleasure of ever speaking with me. I will get on my soapbox very quick, and we'll be here all night. And I know that Rick wants to go to bed, but you know, I think that they don't belong. I'm not going to say that because I think that everyone's going to get their start somewhere. Do I think that they need to consider themselves the end-all, know-all, and that they need to go on and do, like, never go out in the field? No, I think that that's not cool. I think they need to, you know, if they are comfortable to do it in their living room, then they need to get their asses out and try it sometime in the field. Does that then one investigation make them the end-all, know-all? No, there is no end-all. I don't care who the hell you are. I know people who I hold in my mind, or you know, whatever, my opinion, as being some people who I trust some of their advice that they've told me within the field, and it's not to do with any investigation technique. It's simply dealing with the paranormal bullshit. You know, everybody's going to have their own take on this, that's for sure. Do I think that they're a hindrance to the field? Only when they consider themselves you know, the person for this or that. Because if you're in one place and you're using something, yeah, you can use it and you could tell people how to use it. But I can tell you how to use this lighter. I should do a video. Pretty good at it. I could do a video. It's all about the people who are receiving the message too, because those people are the ones that are giving the weight and the power. I'll be honest with you, my view on the paranormal lately is that it's nothing but a popularity contest, as it is, at least within, and I'll be honest, I love YouTube to death, but let's be real. It's a popularity contest. That's all it is. And,
Well, Nikki, now if you're saying there is no authority, who is the authority that's saying a location is haunted or not?
there isn't one.
So there's no
I
such
don't
thing as...
hand out certificates saying, this motherfucker is haunted. I don't do that. Or this motherfucker is not. There are
Mill
teams that
College
do.
will hand you a certificate saying you're a paranormal investigator.
Who will?
Well, Mill College, if you pay to go to the college.
Oh,
course,
yeah, you know what? I
paranormal-
got a printer, too, and you can buy it online. You can be a parapsychologist and a certified EVP technician.
Yeah, see?
Now, guess what? You come at me with that card, and I'm going to go, that's nice. You spent $40.
So,
What
what would make Trans-Allegheny any more haunted than someone's house, my house right here? If I had all the...
I can't say that it is, because I can tell you I've been to some residences that have had a ridiculous amount of activity. In fact, one of my absolute favorite locations, Willow's Weep, the Monroe House, Hamilton House, which is now, well, it used to be also a restaurant, but it's a residence. It was a residence for many, many years. Those are some incredibly haunted locations.
I mean, are you talking about the place where you conduct your sessions? Are you saying that it is possible that Tala isn't as haunted as your living room?
I can't say that because I don't know whose living room we're talking about. I mean, we could be talking about.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who's
we're talking about his living room.
I've never been to his house, so I don't know. But I'm saying odds are.
I feel pretty confident to say if your living room, your house was as haunted as Tala, you would not be able to live there. Considering all the evidence and all the things and all the evidence that people have pulled out.
Dude, I saw there was a study that was done 4 years ago where they took 10 people and they took a group of 5 investigators and told 5 investigators that this place is haunted. They took another 5 investigators and told them that it was being renovated. The 5 investigators that went in there and did their sessions that were told it's haunted came out with all types of evidence. The 5 investigators that went in there that were told it wasn't haunted came out with shit. Just because somebody says that it's haunted doesn't mean fuck, in my opinion, dude. There are always going to be more dead people than there will ever be people that are alive.
Well, I look at the evidence.
I just get there's a study right there.
I say, okay.
You know that it's haunted. Go to a place where you don't think it's haunted.
I say, okay, show me the evidence. And if they show me some badass evidence, then I'm going to go there myself. And then if I catch some badass evidence, I'm going to say, yeah, this place is haunted. You know,
but you're not an authority to say that it is or it isn't.
But we don't
nobody
have one.
is the authority.
We don't really have one. There's no haunted police.
Right. All you have is somebody saying that they have an asylum that's haunted because of the history that's there.
Well, it's based off of experience. If they felt that they had something that they couldn't explain, that they felt was paranormal in nature, they may classify that within their minds as being a haunted location. I think, once again, it falls into the person who is having the experience and the person who's explaining it and the other person receiving it.
So here's what I'm going to do then. I'm going to do an experiment. I am going to, even if I have to pay somebody to do this, I will pay somebody, if I have to come into my house, and I'm going to tell them that my house is freaking haunted, dude. I don't know what the hell is going on here. And I'm going to document them and their evidence. And then I'm going to call another investigative team.
Oh, no, please don't do that. Please don't do that.
Then I'm going to tell them that I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's haunted, but could you just come and check it out? You know? And I'm going to compare the evidence from the people who I told it was haunted to and the people that I told isn't going to be haunted. And I'm going to document both. And I'm going to prove that it's all about what people say. If somebody says that a place is haunted, they're going to find every reason to make that place haunted in their finger quote evidence.
Depending on
if it's not,
who you have, yeah, because I can't stand behind every person in the field that might come to your house, because there are some wackadoodles in this field. We all know it. Right. And, I'm crazy, but there are some crazy, stupid people who will come in and they'll be like, oh, my God, I got possessed in your living room. And whatever, I can't stand behind the credibility of every Joe Blow who calls themselves a paranormal investigator or somebody who thinks they're someone in this field. And I don't care who you are, whether you're sitting in your living room or you're Zach friggin' Baggins, until I am going there and I'm experiencing things, I'm not going to sit there and say it's certifiably haunted or it's certifiably not. If I haven't something happen, I might say, hey, I had some interesting activity. Am I the authority? Hell no.
So you can't say that it's haunted or not. And neither can the guy who's charging $1,800 to have a team come into his property and investigate something that he says is freaking haunted.
Hey, if you're willing to pay $1,800 to find out, go for it. That's the way I see it. The basic, for places like that, there's other people who've typically gone in. If they're charging $1,800, you're not the first Joe Blow to come up there and get, yeah, I'll pay you $1,800. There's usually accounts that are,
right.
Documented
so in theory,
by whoever.
Anybody who knows nothing about the paranormal should be able to walk in there and get something at these haunted locations. Whether they know that it's haunted or not.
No, that's not true. That's
Why
not
not?
true. There's
it's
no
haunted.
contract you can sign with an entity to make activity happen.
I didn't get one thing in there.
Well, then it's not haunted.
It's not to say it's not haunted. Other people have gotten stuff there.
So, what if somebody got something in my living room, but you didn't? You're going to tell me that it's not haunted?
I'm not going to tell you it's not haunted.
But it's okay, so then what's wrong with these people who want to do this stuff in their living room?
I didn't say there's nothing wrong with it, okay? But I'm just saying, people who sit in their living rooms, where's the standards for who's paranormal investigators and who isn't? Like, what's it to say, okay, now you can say you're a paranormal investigator?
Well, there's the word right there, investigator. I would say that an investigator would set himself apart by going on location to do these things. People who want to sit in their homes and run these EVPs and everything, and they want to do their little boxes, I would call them ITC researchers, because they're just experimenting in their comfort of their own home.
Well,
so is there a separation between
the two?
the two?
And this is all I'm going to say about it. I think the passion equals the actions.
If there is I don't think that that's true, because I have a passion about football, but I can't play football.
It's different, man. You're able.
No, I'm not.
Hindering you from going to have action and being a paranormal investigator.
A disabled veteran?
Rick's a disabled veteran. One of my investigators is in a wheelchair, was shot in 1999, paralyzed, waist down. He goes on investigations.
It's deeper than that. I don't want to get into
the field is really
issue.
for, you have to feel comfortable to go into the field. And I think for individuals to push themselves into the field, is not a wise decision. If they're not comfortable doing so, then don't, okay? Don't. If you think that you're going to get possessed or whatever, stay home then. Everyone has a different, I guess, role in life. And I guess maybe that falls into the field as well. Not to say that anyone's not of value. It's just that I think in this popularity contest that the paranormal has become, that people's judgments can be clouded. And that's obviously the case in no matter whether we're talking paranormal or we're talking friggin' whatever, ballet, football, whatever, okay?
But the bad thing is, right now, what I'm seeing in the paranormal field is that all this new stuff coming out is being kind of put towards the people that stay at their house. I mean, look at all these new apps coming out with Wi-Fi. You have to have Wi-Fi to run it. How many times have you been in a location where you had Wi-Fi? They're figuring to the house investigators that are running live shows by putting Wi-Fi on there. I mean, it's not like the old days where you had your SP7 or whatever and you were just running around a dark room. Now you need Wi-Fi and all this shit. It just doesn't work out.
And I think that shit is actually working against the paranormal field, because as a skeptic, I'm sitting here going, the fuck? Really, dude? Like, if you're using those applications just as, to try to get more people in the field, I want you to go to your doctor and ask them if they got into pre-med because they played fucking Operation. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, that works against the paranormal, in my opinion, as a skeptic, because then it just makes me more skeptical. You going, why the fuck are these people putting out these applications? They're like, what good are they? Like, you're just encouraging people to stay at their house now instead of go out and do like what Chris, I'm sorry, is that his name?
Yeah.
like what Chris says to do, which I would, you know what, and I'm just saying, like, I know we got a little heated, and I don't want him to have any bad feelings. Like, as a skeptic, I would believe something that he said, or Rick said, or Nikki said, over what somebody else who just sits in their home and does this would. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I do live shows out of my place, but that's because, number one, the people that were watching were loving it.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's personal. It's a one-on-one thing. You're getting personal with your family.
And I was gathering some stuff that, I mean, it was funny, like Shrine Park guy. I know he's around and all that. People loved it. Everybody came to see Shrine Park, so I kept running with it. So,
well, why not? You know,
I have other plans out there that are going to take live shows to a whole new level. Live on YouTube. I'm setting it all up right now.
Right.
So we're trying to get that all going to where you're not just going to sit there watching me with an echo box. You're gonna hear an interview with somebody that you might know the story on from TV.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff, and then it'll be followed by just a little session doing stuff. Maybe having them do a session where they are, or hell, I might even pop up at the Zozo Demon House in Oklahoma and do a live stream.
Yeah.
You never know. We're working it.
Yeah, never know. I'm just, But like I'm saying, like as a skeptic, you know, for me right now it's black and white. They either do exist or they don't exist. And to tell me that, you know, these spirits only exist in these locations doesn't, like, it really kind of makes me, like, wonder, like, that, you know, I mean, and I don't know that that's what he was trying to say, you know.
No, we know spirits are everywhere.
But, you know, I think that if you want to be taken seriously as an investigator, you have to give some validity, just a little bit, just enough to say that there's a possibility that these armchair investigators at home could be talking to spirits. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you never doubt that. We're talking like when you go on location, places like Tala and Waverly and Pennhurst and everything. There's a lot more there because of the trauma that happened there, and the mass burials and people dying from TB and all the malpractice and the abused patients and just all kinds of crazy shit that just went on there that I can almost guarantee is going to happen in your front room.
Now, how about this?
So,
it seems like everybody that's in the paranormal field at one point or another has had a traumatic event in their life. Now, tie that with the amount of trauma that it takes that's why we get, you know, these weird EVPs or whatever, like you're in traumatic areas, like the Civil War, extremely traumatic. Would you get the same results in Gettysburg as you would, say, Guadalcanal, maybe Omaha Beach in Normandy, or the Ardennes Forest, based on the amount of trauma that was there?
Well, you're going to get different experiences there because it's different places. I mean, one place doesn't mean you're going to get it the same place.
But there were American soldiers that experienced extreme trauma there. Did they come back to the States? Or did they, like, are they roaming around there? Like, let's go do this shit, man. Like, why has nobody gone to the Aurora Borealis and tried to catch something? Like, there's a huge magnetic field up there. Like, I mean, is there not something there? What about the amount of copper down in the Southwest in Arizona? Or the humidity that carries the static electricity on the East Coast?
Yeah.
Like, is any of that stuff taken into account?
I think you bring up a good point, too. People do bring shit with them and leave it there. Chris, I don't know if you were up there when we were talking to Mary, but she was thinking that, she was talking about that. There's nothing really evil inside her place, but there has been known to be something evil that came with other people that they either left there and all that shit. So,
yeah, okay.
True.
Which is why it's like if you're getting EMF readings, you know, and you want to know if they're intelligent or not. If you just get a spike, you know, then that's you can't say that's paranormal. But if I ask a series of questions and I get a series of intelligent responses, if I switch up the timing, if I do different things, try and throw it off, and I'm still getting on time, in sync responses with that K2 meter, then what can you say? You can't say that's a coincidence or that's just a random EMF spike. There's something intelligent responding. If I have my REM pod, and this is something I documented that I haven't seen anybody else document. The REM pod goes off on green. If you get closer to it, okay, the antenna, it goes from green, blue, yellow, and red. Or it's yellow, blue, and red, okay? It measures how much, all right? I've been able to have a spirit or whatever, something with a conscious and awareness, be able to isolate the yellow light for no and light up the green light for yes, which is easy for them to do for the green light for yes because it's the first light to go off. But that second light, you cannot light up the yellow light, okay, without lighting up the green light unless you perfectly position your finger close to and very precise to the antenna to make that yellow light go off. I've been able to capture and document that happening, okay, with it answering my questions intelligently. So you can't say that, boom, that's just a coincidence. I don't care who you are, I don't care. I show you that and I explain that to you, and you look at me and say, well, that's just a coincidence. I'm going to laugh, okay? So that's just what I have to say about that. If there's anything, that you got to have intelligent responses, you have to be able to show somebody, okay, this is raising my eyebrow. Tell
me how the K2 works.
Measures electromagnetic field. That's the K2 meter. It has the lights,
In what form?
What?
In what form?
What do you mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like you're trying to test me,
Well, no. Like, I mean, what do you know about the equipment? That's the thing.
Just saying, I mean, it's just kind of getting exhausting, having this whole kind of thing about it, But I'm just saying, I understand your point,
It's measured in milligauss.
But also, I've documented stuff, and I have a point too. That's just kind of all I want to say about it.
Here's the way that the K2 meter works. It works in milligauss. There's 5 levels on the milligauss. Okay, the device operates at a 50 to 60 hertz level, and it can detect extremely low frequencies, 50 to 1,000. Now, it is popular belief that EVPs and spirits only operate within that 1400 hertz frequency range. So if it's only able to pick up to 1,000, between 50 and 1,000 hertz, then how is the K2 able to pick up that 1400 hertz range? Like, those are where my questions lie. Like, I mean, how much? And see, that's where I'm saying, like, I want to know everything there is to know about these pieces of equipment, how they operate, what can set them off, what frequencies we're working on. Like, I need to know the tech specs on these things so it makes it easier for me not to just go up there and be like, yes, I had a paranormal experience, or it's low. Like, it was just a coincidence, or it was just, a pure anomaly. Like, that's where I'm at.
Well, I would like to thank everyone for attending Rick Paranormal Warnings stream. I know that he said 4 minutes, like 20 minutes ago, and I know he's trying to be really polite and kind, and I'll be really friggin' rude and step in because I don't have a fucking problem.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Y'all have a good night, okay?
I'm tired.
I want to say thanks to everybody that showed up. This was
been real.
Rick, I still want that $20.
I'll give you $20. It's right here.
Yeah. Nice.
No, I was sitting in Rusty's chat, and he was ending, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to do a live stream. So we were up to 25 at one point. I want to say thanks to Pokesters in there, Twister, Doppel, Nikki, Jason, Chris, Douche, Rob,
Asshole,
Kirsten.
It's been real, y'all.
Sherry. Yeah, everybody that was in here. DJ, I know I've seen your name. Starry, Justin, everybody, man, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you guys go subscribe to these other channels that are in here. I'll tell you what, these guys are the best in the field that's sitting right here.
Oh, the rest of us assholes are pretty cool, too. Check our channel out.
But thanks for tuning in. We will talk to y'all later.